tell you some false things people hear about false advertising, okay? And that is that false advertising must be fulfilled. In other words, specific performance. Not true. Companies, people say, well, you have to do it for this much because this is what you said. Not true. It's not true. Here's what they can say. Listen to how crazy this gets. Randy, worst case scenario, they can say, you know what? We wanted to get a bunch of leads and we lied. That's what they can say. But the FTC, BBB has no official thing. I'm talking about, but any agency, all they can do is scoff at them, and the FTC might, Federal Trade Commission, might fine them. People do false advertising all the time. Now, they don't say it's directly false. They say it was a mistake or this or that or the other thing. But even if they did do it on purpose, there's hardly any penalty for it. So when people think, ha-ha, gotcha, they don't. So here's what I'm asking you. Even if they advertised that they can sell you this lathe for $139 and they can't, therefore what? I always ask that when people call in. Therefore what? They shouldn't do it, right?
I agree.
Okay. So were you hoping that because they advertised it, if you could prove it, that you could get it for that price?
No, Tom. I just wanted to alert people to it.
Well, people will. Here's what I think.
Not.
I mean, won't most people be alerted to it when they call and they can't get it for that price?
Possibly, sure.
Do you have the ad, a copy of it, a screenshot, anything at all that we can look at?
Yes, I sent the link.
Really? No, wait. No. The Facebook ad, not a link to the lathe.
Oh.
Because here's why.
Yes, I do. I think I do have the Facebook ad.
Please get it to us. Suzanne, let's see if we can see that ad. I'd like to see to what length they go. Because so many people do false advertising that's not exactly false. It's just like, it's just tricky. It's tricky. Hey, Carrie, you have an estate question? We have Blake Harris with us from MileHighEstatePlanning.com. What's going on, Carrie?
Hello, Carrie.
Let's see. Okay, I already have an attorney.
Okay.
My mom passed away in 16. My dad had passed away in 14. I was the trustee. I'm the power of attorney. All of that.
Okay.
So.
May I ask something very, very quickly? May I ask? Your dad died in 14. Was the estate settled by the time your mom died in 16, or was it still open?
Or was an estate even ever opened?
Yeah. What was the case?
The estate was never open.
Okay,
for neither of them.
No.
No, just for Dad.
The dad died in 14. The dad died in 14.
Property
the mom died
held probably.
The mom died in 16, right?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Keep going.
And so I have two brothers. One, after my dad passed away, he wanted to be out of it. So we went back to the attorney, and they changed it and took him out of it and the grandkids out of it. So it was just me and one other brother.
What year?
And we went back to the attorney after my dad passed away. So I want to say it was June of 14.
Okay, so after your dad died, you went to the attorney, and your mom changed her will, is what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Changed the trust and the will, yeah.
Okay.
So, anyway, I did a whole bunch of research on my own, and the checking account was in my mom's name with me being, the signer because I was, the financial and stuff.
But did it have a survivor clause, or were you just a signer?
No, it had a clause, and it said I was supposed to be POD.
Okay. Payable on death. Then what?
Yep. Well, I kept that money in there so I could pay for the house taxes and the insurance on my mom and dad's house that was left in an Oldham trust.
Okay.
In the trust.
We just need general stuff. What are you asking about?
Well, when my brother bought me out of the house, there was a thing we agreed upon that...
Is your brother staying in the house?
Yes, he is.
Okay, so the brother bought the house, then what?
Yeah. and we had it appraised. So he gave me half of what it appraised for.
Got it.
And we were supposed to have, because I said, okay, because he's just fighting with me. Okay, I'll pay for half of the landscaping. But he was supposed to do it like within a year, I think. And it still hasn't been done. So that's $2,000 that came out of my pocket.
Hold on, Carrie. At the time of the sale of the house, you agreed to pay for things that needed to be done to the house, or half of what needed to be done?
Half of what needed
and
to be done.
Did you do this in a written agreement?
Yes, the lawyers did.
Okay, so there is a written agreement that says Carrie agrees to pay half of this, and this. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, now, all I want to tell you is this, and we'll come back to you. That's all that matters. What's in the agreement? If it didn't say when he had to do it or where he had to do it, if you're upset that you paid the money and he didn't do it, whatever it is, we need to address that when we come back.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Ross Kaminsky in the morning and Dan Kaplis in the afternoon. 630 KHOW, Denver. Now, impact traffic.
Such as the previous we had an issue, they stopped closed systems.
It's okay now.
It's okay now. I didn't even have to restart Facebook.
It's been a bad day for video.
So I'll see if the snowball goes down again. I'm not using it, but it just automatically.
So, Mark, let's get together and talk about interface with the app, the latest downloads. Let's look at it. I mean, we don't do it today, but let's do it.
I'm going to do it, you know what I'll do? I got a 4-hour flight today. I'll literally do it on the flight.
Can you do it on the flight? You won't have connectivity, right?
No. I think we do have internet, but I don't know. I don't know. That's a good freaking question.
I hate to see. Hold on, guys. 1 second. Buy and build kitchen and bath. That's what they are right now. They're concentrating on kitchens and baths, cabinets, vanities, granite, tile, hardwoods, plumbing, and electrical, and they'll do installation for you. Now, you can choose just to buy the stuff at below wholesale. Yes, way below wholesale. They buy big, giant lots, or you can have them assemble cabinets, do the countertops. You pick your level of what you want. Buyandbuild.net. 303-295-6022. New location, 560 South Lapan.
I hate to see Marketplace get corrupted like Craigslist did.
Well, Jesus, it's going to happen.
It's absolutely going to happen.
Yeah, but it's been pretty damn good.
Well, that's because it's new.
Yeah.
It just takes a while.
Well, in Facebook, you have your information there, so you're not.
Mark, I have a Denver trial line of mine to do.
But you don't have to have your writing.
That's what must be happening.
Oh, okay.
I'd hate to see it.
I'm wondering how you do Craigslist.
That is Denver trial lawyers. Gotcha.
They can apparently.
Well,
Good.
could they
We're
say anybody
saturated.
grab it?
That's good.
Give them this.
Well, you know, like on eBay, you
It's
have
good that you're doing this. They were putting them all down as tape.
No, they're actually put in as live. It's a problem in traffic. Everything was, I did everything right, Tanner did everything right, traffic screwed up something.
Account number for that business. Well, they don't. Craigslist doesn't. eBay does.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
You know, that son of a bitch got better than it got worse.
Right.
Got worse today.
Because it's free.
2 days, 3 days now.
Exactly.
Worse. Totally fucked up. I can't wait to have that.
It's free, yeah.
It might.
But you do have to go more information to it. I was thinking that.
I just have a vitreous detachment, gel in my eye that's photographed.
I grew up in
And it's supposed to go away naturally. It just dissolves. But
And they had a swimming pool. And for years, that swimming pool.
I had 26 vision
It
without
was
that.
good. During the summer, kids would come and pay 25 cents to swim all day. If they left, they had to pay 25 cents to come back in. All of a sudden, one year they made it free.
When does she have her surgery?
Ruined it. They would
Suzanne.
come there as truckloads of kids.
Week after we get back, I think.
And
For the day, they could come and go.
they told her, Jenny,
Didn't feed them, so they wandered the neighborhood.
I had my lenses done with,
No, they're knocking her ass out for her nose, I believe.
oh, her nose, for damn sure. I thought her eyes were,
They just
she was getting her eyes
dumped
done.
these kids.
Right?
For the day, get
Did
rid
she
of
have her
them.
eyes?
She's doing both.
Oh,
I don't, you know, what's funny is I'm not sure which one's
When it
first.
became free, it ruined it.
I think the anesthesia, though, they actually
25 cents
put a thing down her throat.
so big.
because they're working on her nose, you can't wear a
I'm
mask.
saying you can tell a
So
person
they
by how he acts. on something.
That's right, that's the word.
So, if you ever see somebody that's handing out something, you see.
I had a rhinoplasty done. In my deviated septum. Case of Colorado, I'm sorry.
But that's not free.
Well, to get in is free.
Okay.
If you want it, it's got a lot of life.
But you gotta buy the, in order to buy, you gotta go to them and buy the tickets or whatever.
Yeah, they have to spend a little money, but just getting in is free, and that's that part of it.
Now where are they gonna have Taste of Colorado with all the homeless there?
I know, they're all living there in that part. Have you gone by there and seen that?
No,
By the way,
I wanna go there.
Did the judge, wasn't this a local judge that said it was unconstitutional?
What was
If you
unconstitutional?
drive by
Kick 'em
there,
out of
The camping law,
Who
anti-camping.
kicked them out?
They did.
Police. The police were rounding up homeless people who were camped out. One of the guys went for one of the municipal tickets to court. And the guy, I think it was a municipal judge or someone said, he's not prosecuting him. It's unconstitutional, or it's cruel and unusual punishment or whatever. So then everyone reported that our law was struck down by a judge.
What's unconstitutional?
For them camping in a.
I went by there. a few
So I
weeks
can
ago.
go camp any public area?
But you gotta,
Anytime you want.
but you gotta appear homeless.
Civic Center Park looks like a cesspool.
Oh, it's nasty.
And they're shitting right on the outside.
Well, why don't we just all go sleep on the
You're welcome to.
steps of the fucking
You're welcome to.
What were you going to say?
the mayor's office?
Union Station where I live, where my office is,
Yeah.
they found someone inside of our stairwell.
Oh, really? Is that wrong?
And you can't remove it from a stairwell. You can, but you can't remove it from public land. They
I
can
don't, I
anywhere
don't
they
know
want.
what's unconstitutional
Neither
about it.
do I, Mark. But did he actually use?
You know what? Fuck
I
it.
don't-
I'm
Mark,
gonna sleep on I-25.
Mark, I don't know if he used the words unconstitutional, but didn't they say the law?
I don't know anything about it.
Why not sleep right in the middle of the road then? Like 100,000 of them.
What level judge do you need to strike something down?
They're getting there.
Yeah, that's a good question, attorney. What level judge do we need to strike that down?
Depends what you're striking
Can a
down.
freaking county judge rule something unconstitutional that's federal?
Not this
You know,
federal.
No, what I mean is, the Constitution is federal.
If it's in his court, seen before him, he can do whatever the fuck he
that-
wants.
Yeah, you can make any call unconstitutional.
I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Let's go to the phones. Gary has...
real quick, though,
Yes, sir.
I met the nicest older lady, 90 years old. I had to go out and look at a stove that someone on the referral list repaired.
Yes.
And she emailed me and said, hey, thanks for the referral list. It was an expensive repair, but I'm glad I got it done.
And you were a little upset because the repair was about $400.
Well,
and you said,
asked her, because I said, I wonder what she means by expensive. So I emailed her back, and I said, what is expensive? She said $425.
And we're thinking
for an
you can
electric stove repair.
And you're thinking, well, we can buy an electric stove for not much more, like $1,400.
You can $1,400. You can buy an electric stove at one of the big boxes and have it delivered and installed for $400.
So what happened, Mark?
Well, I went out there. I had to go out and see what one of our referral list members did. They actually warned her that she could buy a new one, and I saw the invoice and everything.
Okay,
The
good.
bottom line is she wanted it to match her other appliances, which wasn't going to
The
happen.
50s vintage?
Of the 50s vintage,
Okay.
a little newer, maybe
All right.
70s.
All right.
It was that pink color?
Yeah.
I'll peak, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So it worked out good, and I was very glad. Now, the only reason I wasn't glad, I thought we were going to execute someone on the air that was on the referral list. But this company's been there a while, and now I fully understand
why they did it.
And she chose to have it repaired.
Okay, but we love this woman. She's in her 90s, and in the letter to Mark, she said, look.
Oh, this is great.
I didn't buy a new one. I don't need a new one. In fact, I even hesitate to buy green bananas.
We laughed so hard on that yesterday morning.
I thought that was cute.
She is so witty and in such great shape, it's unbelievable.
Now, Carrie says after her dad died, they changed the will, all of that. We didn't need any of that information because all it comes down to is this. They inherited the house, she and her brother. Her brother bought her out. Then they signed a written agreement as to what repairs they would split on the house. Okay, Carrie. So what is your question for our attorney, Blake Harris, milehighestatePlanning.com? What's going on with this agreement?
Well, the attorneys didn't get him to sign it.
Wait a minute.
Oh, he never
so
signed.
so you don't have an agreement?
Yeah, I signed it. But
Hold on. I'm not sure. Can they hold her? Wait. Does he have a copy of a promise signed by you? I don't see. How does that happen?
It's the person who you're trying to bind, their signature must be on there. If your signature wasn't on there, it might be something we could work around. But you have to have the person who's being bound signature on there.
Well, her signature's on there saying she's going to pay half, right? Does it say half?
Yes, and they didn't have him sign that.
I understand, but where is the disagreement? Is your brother saying he's not going to pay half, or is he saying
he's not going to pay me back? Plus, he owes me.
Hold on, Carrie, please. You said you had to pay half. Why would he have to pay you back if you're paying half?
Because he's never had it done, and he doesn't plan on having it done.
Why are you taking care of a house that's not yours anymore?
It doesn't matter. She has an agreement, right? Blake, it all comes down to this. She's not making sense. She is saying she agreed to pay half the repairs. Then she said, he won't pay me back. And then she said he didn't have the repairs done. I don't even understand. If I could understand what you're saying, it would help me. If he didn't have the repairs done, there's no expense.
But he got the money up front.
Okay, I get it. You paid half of something he never had done.
Correct.
And he won't give it back.
Correct.
Okay, now you make sense. Carrie, listen, he doesn't have to give it back. You agreed to pay that, and he doesn't have to have the repair done because he's in essence absorbing that, and you're paying for his loss of that. I don't see anywhere why would he have to have the repair done? You agreed to pay a certain amount of money to him, and you paid it. You're done.
No, because he wanted the landscaping redone, the yard redone, because he blamed it all on me, that I didn't take care of it after my mom passed away.
Yeah, but instead of having it done, you basically just settled with him with dollars. That's it.
How much total have you paid him?
I took it out of the trust, $2,000.
For what? $2,000. I need to know, what did you...
landscaping, that he was supposed to supply us with an estimate from the landscaper to put in a sprinkler system that was never in there.
Okay, Carrie, I understand. You're upset that you took money out of your half.
Yes.
And you paid for half of something that he never had done.
Correct.
I get it. So...
And then also, he's responsible to pay for... because it was mine and his name in the trust, he was responsible to pay for half the bills, the taxes, and the house insurance until the house was sold or what we decided on it.
Now, how long has he had the house?
He's had it 2.5 years.
And he's paying for everything now, right?
Oh, yeah.
But this is before... Before it was sold to him, you're upset that he didn't, that you put money in for stuff that was never done.
Right, I never got the POD on the bank account. I used all that money to pay the monthly bills, the house taxes, and the house insurance.
You should have never done that.
$15,000 is what he owes me.
Wait, you said 2,000. How does he owe you $15,000?
For the bills, for the taxes, for the house insurance.
But I see. So before the house was sold, I know.
Correct.
Before the house was sold, you guys were supposed to be splitting expenses. Is that
correct?
Okay.
Correct. And
where does it?
Hold on,
money. Carrie. Where does it say you were supposed to be splitting expenses?
In the trust.
Okay. Now, am I correct in hearing that you took the money for your half or for those expenses out of your mother's bank account?
Yeah, the pay on death.
Well, in essence, that pay on death account that she used to pay bills, that was half his.
That pay on death account listed you as the beneficiary?
Yes.
Okay, then you've been spending your own money into this trust. You've been putting your own money into this trust.
Correct.
You have a lien against this trust.
Well, Carrie, you need to see an attorney. Honest to God, you need to put a lien.
Well, my attorney that I have right now, she told me I'm screwed.
Well, you kind of are. Here's why. But first of all, you have to make sure Okay. I'm not playing this game anymore. You got to listen, okay? You have to first make sure that the payable on death was really yours, not both of yours. Okay? So let's do one thing at a time. Was the payable on death account really just yours?
Yes.
Okay, second thing, you have to make absolutely sure that the trust called for you to split expenses. Okay? And number 3, if you don't have that, I mean, you can't, you put your own money in voluntarily. So what is she? She probably sues him for half of those expenses, right?
Is there still money in the trust? Because the easiest thing to do would just be to adjust for the accounting going forward.
Yeah,
for future
dude,
distributions.
I got to take a break. I just need to know, is there money still in the trust, Carrie?
No.
Okay.
I mean, the house has been sold.
Okay. We have more coming up.
Impact traffic.
That's why I'm trying to get her off. It's just minutia.
Yeah.
Too late.
Yep.
2. All right, gotcha.
Not, you summed it up. Not good radio.
It says Rocky Mountain Retro Foam short. It says 30
We like crazy people.
on here. I don't care. I'll do whatever.
Both of the left lanes are closed.
Tuesday, the second hour.
25 there, and work between the 470.
I'm sorry?
The second hour on
36. That's because of the delay.
What kind of bike did you say you
Second
had?
hour on Tuesday.
The second hour on Tuesday.
All right.
Too big.
One
If I
after
was
another.
with you on there, I'd even get like a 2.
Government puts secret.
Some of those lights.
There's one 200 I like. This is pretty light, man. This is 270 pounds.
Tom, how do
How
we
much is
clean up
yours?
the homeless problem in Denver? Well, particularly around the Union Station. We can move it to another area.
Yeah, but if we had a problem down there.
It is a bad problem and it's getting worse.
Well, people are coming from all over the country.
People come from it's the other country part.
Rocky Mountain Retro Foam. Let's say retro. Why? Because they retroactively insulate your home, and they do it better than anyone. It is the best retro insulation you can buy. If you want to make your home more energy efficient, maybe you have an old home that had no insulation, or even a home built 70s or 80s that have substandard insulation. You need foamyourwalls.com. That's the website I want you to see, and you'll see this injection foam. It's environmentally friendly, by the way, and it stays intact forever, holding its R value, makes your home more energy efficient up to 50% and 80% quieter. It's an amazing stuff. If you already have insulation, it'll go in and press that up and fill every nook and cranny around it. It'll retro insulate your home and make it state of the art. They do it from outside the home in just one day in most cases. Foamyourwalls.com. Take a look at it. Foamyourwalls.com. 720-676-6333.
What is your bars in California are making worse?
Yeah.
They really screwed it up.
Do you remember the movie
Denver
that
trial.
made things worse as we increased the homeless population?
Yes.
Okay.
I want you.
Remember the movie Back to the Future?
Yeah.
Remember that?
DenverTrialLawyers.com. That is a very easy website for you to remember. And I want you to remember it because these are the serious attorneys for serious catastrophic injuries, birth injuries, medical malpractice, sexual assault, a nursing home, a doctor, a therapist, a hospital, where you don't know where to go. Get trial experts on your side who have had hundreds of millions of dollars in settlements and verdicts. DenverTrialLawyers.com.
Anyway, remember that
Tom, you're right. It was cruel and unusual punishment for that. What that judge did. It can't be.
I never actually. That's a real. Swear that's a real county.
And guess where they took
and I might be wrong.
what do you call it when you do it from a higher court?
They have
The Ninth District Court
in
California had a similar thing in Idaho.
So when they figured out something to do, so what they did was they placed
He says you can't put people into shelters just to get pulled out like it's jail. They gotta be able to do it
for assistance for homeless, for housing.
They have to be able to do it on their own. If they want to go to a shelter, you can't force people to go into a shelter.
Because they offered stuff for them.
Even though there's plenty of beds on there.
And so, and it just became a.
Think about it, they're not helping
problem.
It's crazy, man.
Andy McNulty
was the attorney of the homeless guy. Do you know him? Or?
Take things for free. To take stairways, take it.
Judge Johnny.
Judge Judy.
You have the right to run them off.
The decision was
some
from the
politician.
U.S.
CBA study has guts enough to do something.
Oh, when is that deadline?
Like right now.
What is it?
Might be by Friday.
Colorado awards, the broadcasting awards. We didn't put together any presentations. Does it have to be the whole call raw, or can you edit the presentation? What is
No, it's edited. Yeah, a little of this, a little of this, a little of this. Max 5 minutes.
I'm gonna. Can I let you know after I go over some stuff today? Do we have where are those best hubs we ran? Where are they? Do I have access to them?
Daniel, I lined up a tranny call for tomorrow, a tranny shop call. I put it on the call list and I printed her stuff for you. Yeah, because she texted it to me, she wasn't emailing, so I'm shocked that these are pictures.
What time is she on tomorrow?
She's supposed to be called between 10 and 2:30.
Oh, she's gonna call.
No, I've got her on the call list for Daft to call.
Actually, I've
But
got.
it's a tranny shop that's had her vehicle for 5
I do have a
months.
bunch of
Back
little
in
clips that
October,
I
she
call
paid like
best ofs I have. If you do want to go
drove
through
off
them.
with it, it was supposed to be done, so she
They'd
drove
all
off with
be
it,
from
to get
last
10 miles
year.
down the road
Okay.
and turn back around.
Where are they?
But they're kind of like, I don't know what you mean by that. It's us, some of them are just, Looney Tunes.
And you're here tomorrow, right?
It's good radio shit, but I don't know if that's what you're looking for.
Transvestite.
What's that?
Is it pure content? It doesn't matter what it is, or what is it?
You wanna hold this?
Is it judged purely on content, or are you supposed to be
Well,
helping
there's certain categories. It depends on the category. If it's just entertainment, I don't even have the categories in front of me. So we have, Mark, it's the kind of thing, you know what, I've never done it. And I'm not saying I shouldn't. I probably should take it more seriously, and I don't. I just can't. You know what? Normally I can't say.
Honestly, it sounds like bullshit to me. But.
Yeah, but man, so many people put so much.
Yeah, but who cares about it, though, is all I'm asking. I don't know the answer.
Each other in the industry.
Okay.
It's a blowjob.
Okay. It's like these guys that, you realize they pay for their own star out in Hollywood?
No,
Did you know that?
No.
You pay your own star and your maintenance on your fucking star when you're awarded the Hollywood star. No bullshit.
Oh, God.
I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK. Listen, whenever you have an estate problem, it's because you didn't do enough planning. That's really what it turns down to. Let's talk to Peggy about adult protection. I'm not sure what this means. It sounds important. Hi, Peggy. What's going on?
Hi. My mom got taken into adult protection. It's been like 3 years ago.
Okay, now, Peggy, that's a loaded sentence. So I just want to ask, where was your mom when she was taken into protective care?
In her home.
In her home. Okay.
Yes.
What happened? Did someone visit her and say, oh, my God, we need to help her?
No, my brother was staying there, and my niece went to stay there because she had got, they foreclosed on her house she was renting.
So the niece went there, and then what happened?
My brother and my niece got into it after a couple of days of being there.
And then what?
And the police were called.
Okay,
so
who called the police?
I think my niece did because my brother put his hands on her.
Okay, so the niece called, and then what? Police came.
And then they seen that my mom was of age, elderly, considered elderly.
So when the cops came, they didn't like what they saw.
Right.
All right, then mom was put where?
They didn't take her that day. They went to social service and filed a complaint, I guess. And that's when the adult protection came involved.
And that's what's supposed to happen. Where did your mom go?
Well, we went to court. They sent her to court, and we went to court with her, and they decided.
Was anyone charged with neglect?
No.
Okay. What happened after you went to court?
They took my mom into emergency adult protection. At that time, they wouldn't let her come home for 72 hours so we can get her things together.
Well, that's serious. That's saying that they think your mom was in serious danger.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what happened then?
Well, then we were appealing stuff, me and my other sisters and brothers, trying to see if we could, come and take care of mom. I offered to go. Everything we did was denied. They
well, you tried to appeal. How long ago was this?
This was 3 years ago.
Okay, when you appealed, the judge turned it down?
Yes.
Okay.
And then
And what prompted the call today?
because I've been trying to get lawyers back even when she was, going through that, but nobody would take the case.
Well, what are you trying to accomplish?
Right now, she's in they had her in 2 different nursing homes or assisted living. And now that her money's gone, they sold her house without her getting anything out of it, any of her property.
Well, okay, but Peggy, all of this was done under emergency. They took over. They basically took custody of her. So
after
we can't do we can't do anything about anything that happened up till now. What are you calling about today?
Right now, she's in a different nursing assisted living. They never did get her eyes checked. We told them about her cataract. She can't see right now, and her gums are all messed up. We've been telling them that she needs to go.
So, are you saying she's in danger now, or she's not getting adequate care?
She's not getting adequate care.
Do you have a better solution?
Yeah,
can you provide in-home care? Do you have several people who can step in?
But she doesn't even have to have better care. If they're in her custody, and they're not doing a good job, and it's a substandard facility, certainly she can complain.
Yes, you can certainly complain, but as far as the reality of getting her out of there, it's going to be very hard.
What about transferred?
You can put in a request to have her transferred.
Hold on, Peggy, and let's talk about that. Can you talk to her off the air, Deputy Clint? Maybe we get her transferred. Hold on.
If you've saved a lot in your IRAs, 401ks, and other accounts, taxes could...
I think you were looking at mine.
I want to know this. Do you think the mom is being mistreated, or do you think the kids just want control?
No. What initially happened was mom was being okay. Fight breaks out between the 2 children. The government steps in where they really shouldn't have and takes mom out of her home when she was probably in a pretty okay place at home. Puts her into the
My sleep IQ is better than yours last week. Mine. Solid green last week.
Well, this is weird. Look at this. Watch when I go to yours.
It's the reason that I called
Solid green.
Oh, maybe it was resetting.
Careful with the Adult Protective Services. The police.
When I first went to it, yours was all over.
And my Apple Watch registered my heart rate lower than the bed.
What did it register?
Like 5 points.
We hear the same story a lot.
55.
You get a heart rate from your bed?
I don't know if they would have taken her out of the home.
Yeah. Here's the same story. And they
You
take
don't
the
have to put
house.
anything on you.
They take everything.
It just
they
measures
put
your
it
heartbeat. The bed measures your heartbeat.
So
Yeah,
I feel
my biometrics,
after her.
it says
But there's really nothing we're going to be able to do for her.
I averaged 61 beats per
Transfer
minute
would be
last
Why are
night.
you sleeping?
But I wore my watch last night. I don't wear my watch at night
I
because
mean,
I charge it,
what's
but I wanted to compare. And my watch said I averaged 55 beats
So
per
I would
minute.
say your watch.
24-hour care.
I would think my watch is more accurate too.
It's basically what I'm putting out something that's impossible for any human being to.
First of all,
we cannot take
61
care of
seems
you
a
as
little
a person.
high for sleeping.
You and your brother and sister.
What?
61 beats seems a little high for
I think
sleeping.
shit, mine goes between 63
It
and
also gets
78.
my breath per second.
Not per minute.
I know
Or
it's
per minute.
Yeah,
What do you think yours is? What's your beats per minute
you're
at
right,
night?
per
Do you know?
Do you know your sleep IQ, Tommy?
Yeah, I know all of it. Yeah.
Now,
What's
your
sleep
beat-
okay, I'm going to tell you, I get up a lot, and I've had some bad nights, but I will tell you.
I like that.
But what's your average beats per minute?
If it's a private room, sleep.
I got to wake up and I got
I
to
think it's like,
somebody else in there. There's a HIPAA problem.
let me look here. 'Cause I noticed that.
Does it tell if you're a mouth breather or not?
No.
I wonder if it tells you nothing about breathing. except how
Stephanie,
much-
Stephanie has a 95.
She does?
One time.
She's killing us all.
Oh, no, her average is. So mine last night was 87. My best was 91, but 71 is my average because I've had those nights.
This bed, have you decided that or not?
How many breaths per minute?
I don't know where that is.
Oh, me?
Right next
14
to.
breaths per minute.
14.
Mine's 17. Mine is, my average is 18. My average heartbeat is 60 something, 61 or 62.
You get real-time tailored advice.
So
That's
anyway,
smart.
On your servers and storage devices to develop.
Dan, your sleep IQ would probably suck with your sleeping
You're probably
issues.
right.
It's too bad.
You're probably right. Off select business computers.
Yeah, that's right.
Processors. To speak with a Dell advisor, call 877 by Dell. That's 877
That's right.
by Dell.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company helps you customize your home insurance, so you only pay for what you need. Unlike things you pay for.
So what they do with the one your guy that was sleeping in your stairwell?
What's that? What manufacturer
What I said,
manufacturing
just
is
some
3%?
mistake, just have me the one to fix the coffee machine every morning.
But really, it's just a very expensive dog.
To give them a job.
I'm not, but you know, this is my approach to things.
So what do they do?
I take them in. They poke them with a stick and pick them out.
Only pay for what you need.
But what I would love is some politicians come along and say they will clean up the homeless problem in the
Yeah, no,
station
it's
area.
All right, well, I
I
appreciate it.
And do what?
And I will get behind that politician.
Oh, well, remember, he can.
Yeah, you're definitely a little on the higher side. I mean,
I think
you're
the
looking
opposite
at about
way.
$200 at the lowest, who is.
Why would anybody even make that
Victory.
comment? I mean, he was gonna completely solve it.
Yeah.
They don't say too much about it anymore.
Yeah.
He didn't even come up with a program. I don't even know what he was gonna do.
Well, yeah, I mean, just shoot
I just
me,
said
just shoot me your best price. I mean, like I said, I'm ready to buy it, so.
Shows, trade show, and the Super Bowl livestock show.
The only one I know that.
Well, it depends on what the price is. You guys,
the only person
they charge 2% on the credit card.
I'm not from Florida, but it's going to take.
Yeah, if I put it on a card, I get it. It'll be additional.
You gotta get done, but you also gotta give them and say, okay, you can find you a job here or whatever. You want to do this and stuff. You gotta get an option. It's a drug and mental issue. Is what I say.
And that's all of it.
What's that? Homeless.
For the most part. In fact, you read the look.
How about the old rail riders, the old hobos?
But they couldn't find jobs. Back then, they couldn't find jobs. That was during the Depression.
My whole point was, they're not mental, they were just riding the rails.
Well, because they couldn't find anything.
Vagabonds.
Right. But these are, I mean, look at our job. I mean, anybody who really wants a job.
If you can't find a job right now, there's something wrong with you, man.
So you seen that Seattle's got that really bad. They got that thing on YouTube. It's like an hour long of homeless in Seattle, or whatever. And they had guys interviewed. They said, yeah, basically 100% of drugs. Yeah, or 100% of people use drugs to go to homeless.
Wait a minute.
That's what they said.
Wait a second.
Are you saying?
You're saying there's a 1-year-old baby that was just born. Well, that wouldn't make sense. A baby that was just born in a homeless tent is already. Actually, they probably are on drugs. Don't they get born with drugs?
Yeah. But that's sad. That part is really sad.
That is crazy.
I mean, it's.
And those, what, not barbiturates, what are they called? Opiates. People don't get off those. I'm almost convinced you can't get off some of that shit.
I disagree. I'm sure you can get off. I mean,
You could. I could. I don't think some people can.
Well,
You think everybody can get off opiates? I bet the rescission rate is 99%.
What if you just don't give it to them?
The rescission rate on that is not as high. The lowest, I mean, the recovery rate is only 4% on meth. It's way higher on, 4% actually get off it and stay off it. And think of how terrible that is.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino. This is the Troubleshooter Show. We're going to get right to the phones to help people. That's what we do. It's like a town meeting. You call in, you say, hey, man, I'm having problems with this. Can you help? And then we have experts that we call. We also have other people that help us on the referral list at referralist.com. If you need help, we give you help. One of the things we do, we recommend great products. And I, honest to God, would never recommend anything that I did not know to work or I did not check out myself. You hold my feet to the fire. When it comes to CBD and all that plethora of products, we found somebody that works great. A Pure Pharmaceutical Lab in Golden, Panacea Life Sciences, RealCBDThatWorks.com for pain, anxiety, for sleep, RealCBDThatWorks.com. Welcome. Blake Harris is with us from Mile High Estate Planning. And we're talking about wills, probate, estate planning. We do have questions that came up through email we'll get to. I do want to get to your calls on the phone. And one of the things that we talk about is Integra Insurance, like calling them for health insurance. And Carrie's got a personal experience. Go ahead, Carrie. What's happening?
Hi. I just wanted to call and give a huge kudos, a huge shout out to Stephanie with Integra Insurance Group.
Yeah.
She has gone to bat for me. I was renewing my Kaiser insurance plan through her.
Yeah.
And everything was a go. And then we had a little glitch in the problem because of situations occurring.
Yeah.
And due to my medical needs, she was able to get me reinstated effective January 1st instead of having to wait until February 1st. And I just love Stephanie to pieces with Integra Insurance Group. She went to bat for
I'm really
me,
happy. I'm
and
really happy to hear that.
Yeah, I highly recommend her to anyone out there who's having insurance needs. She is the best. She will.
Well, Integra Insurance in general, they're wonderful people. They really are wonderful people. They take care of you, and there's no reason ever to try to go through that maze of health insurance ever. If you have Social Security, you're looking for a supplement, even if you're ineligible for Medicaid, they'll let you know that. But if you need health insurance, they'll help you find the best plan for you. They really do. And you never save money going direct. Thank you, Integra Insurance Group. And Dan wants to talk about a dealership and what is going on. A car dealership, Dan, what's happening?
Hey, Tom, can you hear me okay?
I can, Dan. What's going on with you?
Hey, just want to say, first of all, I realize just sitting on the hold line here that I've been listening to you for 30 years.
Oh, thank you.
So love your show.
Thank you.
I'm trying to use you as a resource today to maybe prevent from starting a fight with the dealership. But anyway, my wife drives a Mercedes, and it's been in the shop for some general maintenance and repairs. They've had it for about a week and a half.
That's a long time. Wait, that's a long time.
It is. You know, and there was a decent laundry list of things that we needed to do to just kind of keep it up to maintenance. It's a 100,000-mile car. It gets driven on the highway, you know. But anyway, it needed some general maintenance. The total maintenance bill was about $4,000, so it was pretty substantial. But in any case, we were prepared for that. No big deal. We wanted to make sure it was getting done right because we love our car and we wanted to keep it top notch. So we, you know, paid the price to take it to the dealership. The other cool thing is that they always offer a loaner car to us.
Yeah, most Mercedes dealers do that, and they have a great program where you take a loaner, they take your car. In fact, they have pickup and delivery of the loaner to you when they pick up the car in some cases. Do you have that?
I think that's probably reserved for higher model cars than what we have because we haven't really had that opportunity.
Okay, but all I'm saying is I think they have a really good level of service. So you have a loaner. Is that what you're calling about?
Yep.
What happened?
So you sign a paper when you are, you know, taking the loaner out after you drop your car off. You're signing a paper that says, you know, I'll be the only driver and that, you know, I'll drive it carefully and responsibly, and I'm limited to 100 miles a day, you know, those kinds of things. And it
also says that you will have it insured under your insurance as primary, and that you will be responsible for any and all damage, even if you are not responsible for it.
So, okay, well, there must be another piece of paperwork that was signed that we don't have a copy of, but the one that we have a copy of didn't have a disclaimer that said that specifically.
Wait. What? That did not say what? It did say you're responsible for any and all damage.
Okay. Well,
so what part? Dan, I promise, not trying to give you a hard time. What part did you not sign?
Well, so my wife signed the paperwork, and that's why I don't have it in front of me.
Okay.
But I wanted, and she's calling me saying that they're going to charge us for a brand new windshield for a chip.
Well, here's the deal. How bad was the chip?
I mean, it happens like all the time.
How bad was the chip?
It's literally like a little chip, like not one that is. It's like maybe a quarter of an inch, not even that. Maybe probably a quarter of an inch is probably the whole. You know,
that's pretty big. You're not talking about a pinhead, then. You're talking about a real chip.
It's a chip, for sure.
Okay. Well, listen,
His comp insurance will pay it.
Yeah, well, that your comp insurance should pay it. If you whatever coverage you have on your car will extend to that car. And I know that because I've had loaners before from Mercedes, and I know that I would be expected to replace the windshield. Or if it's so minor, I mean, obviously there are some that can be repaired that they don't even know they're there. And you can have it repaired, and they wouldn't even know it was there. But if it's, I don't know what you're looking at. And here's what I think, though. Technically, yeah, you're responsible for it, even if you park the car and some kid in his bicycle came up and ran into it. Even though you didn't cause the damage, it's in your custody, care, and control. However, in my personal opinion...
Yeah, but he did kind of cause it. He was driving it.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm just saying fault is not necessary to be liable when you're borrowing something. But in my opinion is if somebody's spending $4,000 and there's, a small chip, you get it repaired or let it go. I mean, I don't know. Without looking at it, I don't know. Now, if it was substantial and it's a new car because they use loaners for their new car, if they have a new car, I mean, yeah, it depends. It really depends. I mean, business sense wise, if I go there all the time and I bought my car there, I mean, they'd be crazy if it was just a small chip that can't be repaired. Do you have a photo of it?
Not on me, but I can tell you in comparison, if you had a standard ballpoint Bic pen, the tip of that pen, not the ballpoint itself, but the cap, the damage is less than the size of that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The size isn't important. It's what it is. For example, it's going to spread, then it's a problem. If it can be repaired and not have any visual impairment, listen, man, here's the deal, okay? Here's the deal, Dan. What you say, you can do whatever you want. Well, I don't know what they're charging you, but your insurance will cover it. So what is your resistance here?
One resistance is what you just described, that, I bought my car there. We've taken it for service there consistently for the 5 years that we've had it.
Then that's crazy. That's crazy. I think it's stupid to bother you, really. Really.
That's how much that windshield is, man.
Well, and that's the thing.
How much? How much?
They're charging me $400 for it.
That's pennies. I thought it was going to be $2,000. Most Mercedes windshields will be about $2,000.
Well, that's just it. Brand new, it is that much, but they're trying to give me a comparable deal on it or a nice deal on it, so I'm not paying for.
No, they're not. They're not charging you for. They're actually not paying. They're not charging you for the betterment part of it. They're being more than reasonable. Your insurance should pay for it. Dan, listen, man. I'd like to spend more time chewing the fat, but really, turn it into your insurance. I mean, may I ask why you're not just turning it into your insurance?
Yes, I'm glad you asked.
Well, go ahead.
That was my second resistance, is because just last year we had rock damage from a truck in front of my wife. And we had to put our insurance claim in for that.
And?
So that was a $1,300 claim.
And
our deductible was a $1,000 deductible.
Oh, okay. There you go. There you go. Okay. Now I get it. So you'll have to pay for it. I'm sorry, Dan. You can choose to use another dealer. There's not a dealer alive that won't charge you for damage. However, as I said, I wouldn't have charged you if you bought the car for me and been bringing it there for 5 years. I don't think I would have. But who knows? They're only charging $400.
It's Ross Kaminsky. Mornings at 5.
President Trump has said he wants NATO to take on a bigger role in containing.
I do. You do?
I have deductible. I don't know what.
No, I think I got 5.
No. I think I have two. I think I have 2,000 on everything.
And comp too. You never paid for a windshield then.
We were just talking about. I told you I wanted to make Integra Insurance and how great it was for this woman. So let me tell you that again. She went to them and they took care of everything, including the headache she had with pre-existing condition or whether it was pre-existing. IntegraInsurance.com. If you're looking for health insurance, you don't have to look any further than Integra Insurance. Now, they're not a carrier, they're a broker. They can handle plans on and off the exchange, meaning you don't pay a dime extra, but they'll look at everything out there and pick a plan best for you. And of course, it's health insurance made simple and smart. 303-466-5500. That's 303-466-5500. Integra Insurance. I thought you heard me. She was bragging about it. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It was time for a major overhaul. She went
Turn toward me.
remodeling. So,
Like,
how'd it go?
Listen, Mark and Suzanne are leaving. Mark and Suzanne are catching aren't you guys catching a flight for Vegas? You can't go to his open house, or what do you got going on?
We're going to Florida.
Florida.
Yes,
so they can't make it. I just want to let you know.
Is it tonight?
Tonight.
He's going to see, he'd rather go.
I'd rather go.
Because he's going to see his parents.
The drywall.
That flight I am not looking forward to.
How long is it, Mark?
I'll
3.5.
give more advance notice next time. We'll do it again.
It's okay, man.
In warmer weather.
What are you going to have there? Martinis or anything? Martinis?
Tavernetta catering.
Who's?
Tavernetta.
Wow.
And
the tavern.
Tavernetta.
Oh, I don't know that.
You don't know.
Is that the one in Union Station?
It's the one right
Rudy's.
right next to the Bourne Hotel.
Yeah.
The Bourne Hotel is this rail, the fancy Italian.
Where's my cruise wear?
Is this going to be in your office itself?
It's going to be my office itself. And
so can I valet there?
What do you want me to give you?
can,
I like when Kramer
park
goes
the
to the
garage right
record
next
shop
door.
with
1661 Cooper.
with Newman, and they hand him this box, and he's like, "What do you want me to give you? It's Barbara Streisand. It's."
But no, it's 1660, 17th Street.
No, I'm going to see.
You got the wine part down there.
That might be that same guy.
It's a garage right
next door. It's right next door. Yep, it's very easy. Gotta find your age.
I think you're off a foul.
What do you want me to give you? He starts Don Juan in Hawaii, whatever they were.
You give off a foul smell.
Is this a new office or not? No. This is not your new.
No,
You've always
it's new.
I think you're right. It was Rudy's.
I was right next to it for the last 6 years.
Oh, Rudy's.
He
probably bought vintage stuff.
Area, the whole 9 yards. So.
Now, where'd they get the records?
Several people. They got Jerry's. He's the one that
thank you.
very good. Then they got it from the
scheduled
old guy
with the bald head,
with the Jamaican house cleaner that he wanted to grease his head and rub
Supposed to have the kitchen done by Christmas.
and the kid walks in. That's great too.
Where's
my dad?
Where's my dad's record?
Yeah, especially they got those rain
And what else
sensors and everything else up there.
Why did they kind of lose their dad?
And he got another for $4,000. Right now we're looking at a $9,800 bill on my teeth. And we're 3 weeks we take part.
That old guy was funny as hell. Get out of here.
Oh, here's the good one. So Elaine, this is when they had the older.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713 Talk. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. If you are listing your home or thinking about it, he'll give you a free market analysis, but the important thing is he's going to list it for a price where he believes he's going to get the most action. And usually what ends up happening is a bidding war. He knows how to bracket pricing. Some people will promise you really high prices, and they end up having to bring the price down. Frank does just the opposite. He's just a great guy, and I don't think you can ever find anyone who gives you better service anywhere in any business, let alone real estate. And he doesn't hold you to a long-term contract. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. 303-920-1622. Okay, so what do you think on the automobile thing? His wife uses a loaner. There's a rock chip. They bought the car there. They've had the car there, brought the car back 5 years for service, and they're charging him for a rock chip $400. He's upset. I understand that. I understand. If I was a regular customer like that, been there all those years, I would have said, man, that's a rinky-dink. Except the $400 is reasonable. What do you think, Deputy Clint?
I would have got the rock chip fixed before I let them see the car.
If you could have, that's true. And if she even knew it was there, what would you do? What do you think, Mark? What do you think about it?
You got to look at it just like a rental car, man. That's it. You're renting a car, even if it costs no money.
You got a comment? What do you think, Blake?
I don't have anything to add. You dinged up the car. I think you're going to have to end up paying for it to your
Deputy
insurance.
Dan, you got an idea?
Same.
Suze?
Just like a rental.
Suze?
Same. I know the deal with those.
Wouldn't you be a little pissed off, though, if you've been going there 5 years or not? Or
Business-wise, not a good move.
Yeah. Anyway, Charles, what's your comment? Charles?
Yeah, this is real quick. I'm with SafePrice. Yeah, I was just like the other guy. Right now, he can still send SafePrice over there, and they'll waive the deductible on his 1,000 because they do. The rock chip is always no charge, and then you just seal it first because most of the time you won't be able to see it with SafePrice. Now, these little corner guys, you'll probably see it.
I know it's too late now.
If I was that guy's boss, I'd be very proud of him. That was a good little commercial.
I do have a question, though. Can he go get the vehicle and get it repaired himself?
Well, it's too late. They know about it.
Well, even still, can he still repair it himself, Tom?
But if it's a brand new vehicle, like a lot of dealers use,
right,
they're going to want dealer glass on there when they sell it.
You're right. You're right. Clinton, what is going on? Are you the one that you had somebody in your Lyft car and they gave you our number?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we finally get together, Clinton. We've been trying to get a hold of you.
Yes, sir. Hold on. Let me get you off. I'm in basketball.
Okay.
Been checking messages.
Okay.
Yes, sir. How you doing?
Good. What happened with your Lyft experience? You're a driver.
Okay. Yes, sir. First of all, let me start it with the insurance company I got.
Okay.
USAA Auto Insurance. I pay $250 a month. 1/3 of my SSI. I got ride-share gap insurance. Okay, what they told me.
Hold on. You have what's called ride-share gap insurance. What is that?
I don't know. Okay, I thought it was covering me for working for Lyft.
Well, first of all, doesn't Lyft cover you when you have a passenger?
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
The gap can be when he's either en route or when he has no passenger.
Is that what that's for, Clinton?
I'm thinking so. I'm telling you, I'm confused with the insurance.
Okay,
stuff.
we'll find out. Well, who's your USAA is your carrier, and you had ride-share gap insurance. What happened?
Yes,
what happened?
I was at fault. I made a wrong turn.
Okay.
In the wrong lane. I got the ticket. I accept. But I said, okay, I got full coverage insurance. I'll take care of it.
But you didn't mention that. You didn't mention an accident. You mentioned a wrong turn. Was there an accident?
Yes, it was an accident, sir.
What happened?
Did you have a passenger in the car?
No, sir. I didn't have a passenger in my car yet.
Did you hit someone?
Yes, I turned in the wrong lane and somebody hit me.
I got you now.
Red light.
I got you now. Now, when you hit another car, when that happened, were you en route to pick someone up?
Yes, I was.
Okay, keep going. What happened then?
Then I had the accident. Okay,
gotcha.
I was en route.
Right.
Okay, so anyway.
Just to clarify, though, you were en route on the app. In other words, you accepted a fare and you were on the way.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Well, this ride-share gap, I assume that's what it covers me for.
Well, I don't know. That's the thing. I would assume it too. But what happened?
But wait a minute. What happened is they turned USA said no. They had me on recording, and they said they just suckered me into it. They had me on recording and said, well, since you lifted your primary insurance, they got to pay. Okay, I paid $250 a month from this insurance company, which is $500 deductible. Lyft is $2,500 deductible. They already went out and checked my car out and totaled it out for $8,000. Now Lyft is only going to give me $5,600.
Hold on.
After the deductible.
Hold on.
Okay.
So Lyft is covering you in this, even though you didn't have a passenger.
Yes, they're going to cover me.
Okay.
Because I was going out.
Right. So Lyft is covering you, and Lyft is paying out how much?
$5,700.
Gotcha. Now, my question, what does this gap insurance cover? Who's covering the other party?
That's what I'm asking. They're claiming they don't cover nothing. I don't know. They threw some. I
guess what I'm getting at is, why do you have it? It must, if you read about it, it must say it covers something.
Sir, it's more than I can handle reading this.
Yeah.
I'm not smart enough. I'm not smart.
Listen, this is probably hard crap to read, right? We're going to find out. We're going to find out.
Okay, well, let me finish this, though.
Yeah.
But what a lift told me, too, that this insurance ride sharing gap is for a car that's not been paid for. My car was totally paid for. My mother left it for me.
What they mean is gap insurance usually pays the difference between or you have a customer, there is a gap. It says here, right here, I'm reading about it, okay? Our ride-sharing gap, okay, you might not be insured while you're waiting for a ride-share request. The little gap, just a few minutes in most cases, may not be covered under your standard USAA auto insurance. We extend coverage to that period of time. So
it looks like
it's very clear. It's only covering you if you're not on the app waiting.
I'm reading it a little different. It says if your app is on and you're waiting for a delivery assignment.
Yes, that's right.
Then you're in the gap.
That's what I meant, yes.
If you're going to pick someone up, that's going to be your lift coverage in this case. So everything went exactly how it was supposed to go, man.
Yeah, they're covering you for exactly what they promised to cover you for.
But why do you even care? I don't understand why you care. Someone's paying for it.
Yeah, if your car's paid for, what
I'm losing $2,500.
How do you figure that?
The lift deductible is real high.
With a huge deductible is
I understand, but I understand that. I understand that completely. But that's not their fault.
I had a $500 deductible with USA.
But during the gap only, Clinton, I can't make the coverage something that it's not.
Yeah.
You understand? Just because you misunderstood it.
Okay, then are you explaining it to me? I don't understand why they didn't explain that to me like that.
Well, I don't know either, because here's why. On their website, it is very clearly explained. Hold on, let's talk. Hold on. Brian Burns is with Compass Insurance Group. Brian.
Hey, Tom.
Clinton is a Lyft driver. Mm-hmm. He has USAA insurance, and he has an extra rider he pays $225 a month for, or $250. Is that extra, or is that your entire premium, Clinton?
I pay $250 a month.
Total. Total. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And his gap coverage, it's called ride sharing gap coverage. And here's what it says on USAA. Did you know that you might not be insured while you're waiting for a ride share request? This little gap, just a few minutes in most cases, may not be covered by your standard USAA auto insurance and may not be fully covered by your rideshare company's policy. So they offer this gap. Okay?
Right.
So what they're saying is if you're logged on the rideshare app and waiting for a request, this gap will cover you. Now, Clinton was on his way to a ride. He wasn't.
Well, that means Lyft is covering him.
Lyft is covering him. He wants USA to cover him because his deductible is less than Lyft. Lyft has a 25, but I mean, so what? I mean, we can't determine what's primary and what's not.
That's pretty universal, Tom. There's 3 zones of ride sharing. There's while you're logged onto the app waiting for a customer. There's the trip to go pick up a customer that's requested you, and then there is the time where the customer's in the car. And universally, your insurance will only cover, if you have the ride-sharing coverage, it will only cover you during that time where you're logged onto the app waiting for a client.
So it comes down to this, Clinton. You were logged on. Were you waiting for a customer, or were you on your way to get a customer?
I was on my way to get a customer.
That don't you see why your gap is not covering you?
Yeah.
And I wish it did for you because you want to be able to pay a lesser deductible. But you know, I'm really happy that Lyft came through for you. But I don't know what we can do to change it. What do you recommend, Brian? What do you guys recommend for people? Hold on, I want to know. Just hang on.
This is Denver's talk station with
Yeah. I wonder if we can get a lower deductible from Lyft.
So Lyft has 2,500 no matter if you have a passenger in there or you're going to pick them up. It's all $2,500.
They don't have any option of lower deductible.
Wait, they don't offer a lower one?
No. Well, they don't have it in there. Now, if you went to them and said, can I get a lower deductible? If I was Lyft, I would say, why do you need that? Are you going to have accidents?
You know, I can't afford that kind of a loss.
And really what that whole Lyft insurance is for is when it gets into the personal injury side.
Yeah, that's the main part, but they do cover their car too.
That's really nailing it.
Yeah, but I'm saying that's not really the main issue. It's cover their
You know, I
past.
got my first Uber driver ever this time. It was not from Ethiopia.
I've had every imaginable Uber driver you can imagine. Any kind.
I have never used Uber ever and not had bogus charges on my credit card the next day, ever.
Really?
I will never use it. I tell you, I swear to God, I have never once used it, ever.
Wow, that's funny.
I've never had a problem.
TheArtOfGranite.com. That website will save you so much money. Why? Well, Mitch Floria only charges you wholesale. He passes it on to you, all of the materials. He charges only for fabrication and installation. So here's the deal. If you want great prices, great quality, call theartofgranite.com. 303-386-5919. You can even get a price on the phone because of their simplistic pricing. Theartofgranite.com, 303-386-5919.
I'll tell you what this guy did wrong. The more I think about it, why did he even buy the gap insurance? He would have been better off never owning that gap insurance.
Why?
And then simply said, hey, I got into an accident and paid his $500 deductible.
Well, the only thing is...
They would have found out.
How? How would they find out?
Because they're... I don't know, actually.
How?
Let me ask
If
you.
I get into a wreck today, no one, I've never had anybody ask me, are you a Lyft driver?
If you want to be a liar like Mark suggests, how do you do it?
That's not what I'm saying. How would they know? Has anyone ever asked you, are you an Uber driver when you put a claim in?
You know what, Mark? That is a good point.
Yeah. I don't know what they would do if they found out. Because they would find out, say, you did hurt a
I tell you this, my kid was in 3 accidents 2 years ago. They never asked him if he was a fucking Uber driver. Never. I'm saying the question has never come up.
What kind of false charges on the card to look for?
Generally porn sites.
What? On the Uber charge?
Oh, mine?
Yeah.
Oh, man, they're cell phone stuff. They buy cell phones. I mean, big charges, $700-800, or
one was the actual Uber charge that was in a different city while you were here.
And I don't know how it happened, but I swear to God, Clint, it's just way more than a coincidence. I hadn't used it in so long. I had a new card. I figure I'll try it. And I swear to you, the next day, bogus charges out. I have never used Uber, ever, and not had them show up.
Wow, that's good. You know, we park at Front Range to go to DIA, so it's a really cheap to run over.
What a great idea.
So,
what a great idea.
You put the car in
No, it's not cheap, is it?
It's $12. You go from Front Range to DIA.
That's a good way to do it.
You can park
cars inside.
Well, or you can park in the terminal. You leave your car there and go over there. It costs you park. Yeah, it's only a little over 6 miles between them.
I bet I have hundreds of Uber trips. How about you?
Yeah, there's
Lyft.
Yeah.
Well, Lyft.
Hundreds. Nobody checks. There's 20 people.
We did a whole vacation, never rented a car.
So,
Just did all
live for a month. They might.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Saved a ton of money.
Yeah.
Especially when you take into consideration the parking at the hotel.
Where's Gallup?
This one, well, the one where we never rented a car, There's the biggest one was Miami.
Yeah, if you're in Miami, you don't want to be driving.
Love this old lady. She's old lady.
It's the only place worse than here. I'm not saying only place worse than here. South Florida driving is scary.
What is?
South Florida driving?
Yeah.
It's probably never been annual.
Yeah, the drivers.
It's hard to talk. It's kind of a big plane. And
Here's one I did in Mexico.
Her other three lady friends.
Listen to this, man. So this went 65. No, wait.
Like from the 70s.
God, I am no good at there.
They have to use it during the day because all the wiring's being by rabbits.
How far is a kilometer?
And so they
Kilometer would be a little less than a mile.
So 20 kilometers.
Yeah.
65.99 pesos. $6.50.
They just don't have a problem.
Hi, Tom Martino here.
Don't forget DenverTrialLawyers.com. If you have a catastrophic, I say weird kind of injury because it's the kind of stuff you don't know where to turn. Let's say, you're at a nursing home and you notice your mom's being mistreated, or let's say a hospital was filthy, or let's say the school system, an employment problem where there's sexual harassment or abuse, or anywhere, a birth injury. That is DenverTrialLawyers.com. Call them, free initial consultations. Let's talk about rideshare. What kind of insurance do you need for rideshare? Really, what do you need? It's getting so complicated. Brian simplified it. He said, when you're driving your car around, Brian, you need regular car insurance. Now, sometimes you need collision coverage or uninsured property damage coverage if you want to cover the property. That means if you get in an accident, you want to cover the more than liability. But let's get into other than regular car insurance. What would you recommend me if I'm coming to you, Brian, and I want to be safe? What do you offer?
And are you specifically asking about if you do rideshare?
I am a rideshare person. Yep. I own a car, and I'm using it for rideshare.
Yeah, so really, there's a handful of companies we write for that, and it's growing. Every couple months, someone else comes up with a new rideshare endorsement. It's becoming more and more popular, but they offer exactly that zone one we were referring to, where it is that time when you're waiting for a request. You're logged into the app, and you're waiting for someone to engage your services to come pick them up and take them wherever they need to go. So
what would prevent? Here's what I want to know: how do they know I'm logged on to the app?
Oh, you're saying if there was an accident?
Yeah. How do they know?
Yeah. I don't know what kind of investigation. If it's a small claim, probably nothing would ever happen of it. But if it's a larger claim and you were sitting there, they'd probably do some investigation to see what you're doing.
Mark says he knows all kinds of people who have accidents all the time, and they're never once were they asked, are you rideshare? So if Clinton never said a word, never had the coverage, simply got into an accident, how would they ever know?
Well, now it sounds like he was actually on his way to pick someone up.
But how would they even know?
Yeah.
If he had no gap coverage, if he never told his insurance company ever, and he simply is covered by Lyft, if he called instead of calling Lyft, if he called his insurance company, how would they know?
Yeah, unless they asked him, and you're right, it happens frequently, I imagine, where there's not that question doesn't come out. I have heard that asked. So in that case, if you're lying, obviously you can still get away with it. But if you were never asked and never was brought up, then yeah, you're right. I don't see
I'm wondering if that is becoming one of the routine questions now.
Yep. I think it is. And so it wasn't something, obviously, in the past that's been a huge deal, but now that it's becoming more and more common, it's one of the questions that goes down the list. Hey, what were you doing out at that time? Where were you going? And then, it does. And then the specific question of, are you doing rideshare?
Right.
But, if you are actually
or you would just answer like, no, I don't have a passenger.
Yeah, but if they, it's weird. It's just weird, this whole thing. But anyway, what do you recommend? So if someone wants coverage, there is a gap coverage, and it covers you when you're on the app, but but you haven't gotten a request.
That's the time where your insurance will pay if you have the rideshare endorsement on your policy. If you do not, that's a gap in coverage. There's no the Lyft company won't cover you, and neither will your own insurance if they find that out. That going back to your
so
point.
You're logged on, but you're not. You haven't accepted a ride. What if you're not logged on and you don't have any gap insurance, or you've never told your insurance company you're a Lyft driver and they find out? Let's say.
Problem. No problem. They can't do anything about that.
Okay.
How about if you're sitting in a parking lot, a McDonald's parking lot, waiting for a ride, and your app's on? You're waiting to accept a ride, and someone runs into you with no insurance. So that's technically gap?
Technically, that would fall to gap, but once again,
so odd.
It depends. If you're logged in the app, that's the key part. Now, I am not telling you that's universal, that every insurance company is going to say, well, we're not going to cover it then. I think it probably is circumstantial.
What if you forgot to log out of the app and had no intention of using the app?
That's true. Art, you have a comment. Go ahead, Art. What's your comment?
I was an Uber driver for 4 years, and I had gotten commercial insurance and never had to worry about this gap business. I was covered no matter what, private or commercial.
What about that?
But isn't that expensive, Art?
Potentially more. If you think
no more than that guy you just talked to, that was $250 a month. Mine was like
But you have no idea what his circumstance is. I'm telling you, a commercial policy is substantially more than a personal policy with the gap endorsement. Not even close.
What he's saying, Art, is if you get a personal policy and add your gap, it's way cheaper than commercial. What were you paying?
Give Geico a try, because they converted mine over from personal to commercial, and I had a big giant policy. It was costing me about $90 a month. That's less than that guy you were just talking to, and I was covered privately or commercially. It doesn't matter, and I was covered whether I had a passenger on board, whether I was on the app or not.
Huh? Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it's still, Geico has a gap policy that will cover you during that initial phase. It will lower the deductible. It just pays the difference between the deductible that they carry. Like Lyft carries a $2,500 deductible. Uber has a $1,000 deductible. If your deductible is lower, it can make the difference between the two. But the Geico app or Gap edition is a little bit more than what a lot of other carriers are too. So it just depends on what you're looking for.
All right. We learn a lot every time we talk about this, Brian. I'm telling you, it's just getting to a point where what's going to happen, listen to this, Brian. What's going to happen when you have auto-driving cars? Don't you think they're going to ask, was the auto driver on or off?
It's going to bring a whole slew of questions that will come up. But, it's like you said, that the auto insurance industry is having to change rapidly to keep up with the different driving habits that people have. And Uber is a huge twist in it a few years back when it was introduced. And now you're right. The self-driving will be a whole new avenue.
Oh, yeah. In fact, maybe it'll be cheaper or more. We don't know. And, how much of the time do you use it? I think, who knows? Who knows? Anyway, Brian Burns, Compass Insurance Group. You can always call them for your insurance checkup. We call it 303-996-9000. We have a seminar we're going to tell you about on 2 days coming up because you have a lot of questions about estate planning. I want to know what kind of format this is going to take. Usually at a seminar, people try to sell something. That's why seminars get a bad name. But I love informational seminars. Nothing to buy whatsoever. Just learn. And that's what we're going to do about estate planning. And we'll tell you how to attend one of those. It's going to be during the day coming up later this month. I'm Tom Martino.
Now, Impact Traffic.
Lots of lunch hour activity across town. Up in the north end of town, good news. CDOT saying that crash on I-25
cheaper.
Self-driving cars
Yeah,
are starting to improve.
yeah, because those
Maybe
Google,
not at first.
maybe not because those Google cars have a hell of a history of
It's gonna be, I agree, there's wrenches in everything.
You know, right now, we have something sort of like that Cadillac does with Super Cruise. When you get on the interstate, not only your cruise control, but does the steering and the throttle.
Yeah, and separation. Mercedes has that.
Yeah.
Tesla has this. I mean, that would Tesla
Well,
self-driving car.
man, Tesla, you don't have to touch shit. They have such a great, but they don't want you to do that, but that's the reality.
I think Super Cruise only works on the interstate, so, you know, I'm not sure what some of the others do. Well,
What am I doing again?
Would be nice. It looks at your eyes though, and if you're
SimplyFloorsInc.com. Now I say Inc. I-N-C as in Incorporated. Buddy and Karen Mitchell own Simply Floors Inc. They're part of a national buying group, which gives them the power as a small company to buy just like big boxes. Here's the benefit though. They can pass all the savings on to you. Listen, they make money, but you know what? They make sure you get great deals, sometimes 30, 40, 50% off the big boxes. SimplyFloorsInc.com. Make your own appointment, SimplyFloorsInc.com.
With joint pain.
You're the tech guy I need to ask. The Alexa has these little plug-in modules you can plug in to turn things on and off.
Oh yeah, that's right, that's right.
Yeah.
Daniel, I'm usually not down for handwritten notes, but here,
Right.
you know, the training
You
one
have
I
to get
gave
online
you,
to program. How do
they
you-
wrote,
how
yeah,
do
they
know?
wrote their list.
Well, it has to
these
be
are
on your
all the
Wi-Fi
excuses
network.
to shop that you get.
So the
I just
Alexa
think it's good.
is at home.
So,
right?
and it's not too hard to
Go,
read, so I thought that
Alexa
was okay.
talks to them. Oh, okay.
New
So all
Miles
you
and I
do
got
is hook
things
to your
together.
Alexa by
Addie's
phone.
in the middle
by
of
an
mine
app.
grows up, but I'm guessing
And you
she'll be
tell,
between people
you
she
say, I want
knows,
to turn
or
on the
mean,
living
or
room. You
that
name,
know each other.
you name
Like
each
her
thing.
or something.
So you name
She's the
living room.
smallest, so she
Turn on living room light. You say,
are we
Alexa,
gonna
turn
do
on
yoga
living
then
room
or
light.
not? Do you have stuff
So
going
Alexa
on?
turns on living room light.
Yeah, I was working the door with my hands full.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
home controls, that's the big giant change in life. Big giant.
And you know,
Smart home.
remember all the, what was that cable that we ran through homes?
Cat 5.
Cat 5 everywhere. All my Cat 5 stuff is not being used. It's all.
You don't need it, man.
I know.
Wi-Fi.
I know it.
I know it's all Bluetooth now. We ran that damn Cat 5
Or
everywhere.
Wi-Fi. which
So
is-
anybody who did their.
What
you
is the
know,
frequency of Wi-Fi? It's not Bluetooth. What is it? Home networks. What is it?
2.4, 5 gigahertz.
I know it has a longer distance because our gas guns had a Wi-Fi
Compared to what?
Huh?
Compared to what?
Compared to Bluetooth.
Oh, God, it's not even in the same.
Yeah, I know, because they could
20 times, 30, 50, 100 times.
because they can control the guns from one location. And they would program from one location so that they would, when you put them on both sides of the long thing, they'd bump, bump, bump down the pond.
Bluetooth scared maybe 40 feet.
Oh, is that all it is, Bluetooth, 40 feet?
So Wi-Fi here, what is it, Wi-Fi communication, 900 megahertz, 2 there's several different.
Oh, the newest shit, like my Wi-Fi 6, fuck. That thing, if it was straight arrow, oh my God, it might go fucking half a mile.
That's probably the 900 megahertz jump.
Yeah, okay. It's good to know, because I.
If you get in the gigahertz, it's gonna be a lot shorter.
Your Burlington store has a huge assortment of the everyday essentials you need for your family and home. All
I don't know how
amazing
the
savings.
signal works from a
Underwear,
ring.
denim, and so
Wi-Fi,
much
let me
more.
look here, you got me curious.
Ring Wi-Fi or?
And
Who has
style
it for?
imaginable.
Wi-Fi
And for the
6
home, Burlington
range.
has
I think it's fucking
sheets, and
phenomenal
pillows.
range.
Get more for you, your family,
You said
and
Wi-Fi
your home
6
for way less. From all the
gigahertz?
brands you
Yeah.
love, Burlington.
There's a 5.9 gigahertz.
Real travel is life-changing. With Trafalgar,
No, it's called
you'll discover
Wi-Fi
the
6.
best way to travel and connect with the
So
culture,
your little
people,
module has
and
to be a
places
Wi-Fi
you
6
visit.
module.
You'll travel with the freedom to
Everything's
discover
got to be
new
Wi-Fi
concepts
6 to
explore.
be Wi-Fi
With over
6.
300
Your
countries,
router
all
and your
7 continents,
your
you get real
device.
experiences
I
that you
just
won't
want to
find
see.
elsewhere. These are just
Yeah.
a few
So the higher
great
frequency
travel
gives you
stories
faster
and
data, but it's a shorter
save
distance.
7.5% on trips.
Slower.
I just
Expanded
did.
range.
Well, yeah, it's about 100 feet from the cabin to that waterhouse. And the Wi-Fi is in there, and I need the rings to look at things.
Okay, oh, that's right, you remember you do that to look to see what their level of water is.
Yeah, we finally figured out, we hung LED.
Susanna, give me that date for the office get together. I'm going to put it on my calendar. It's Friday, right?
So
A week from tomorrow.
So now take lights up. So now we really could see it. It was in the dark. We couldn't see it before. Despite the fact they said.
So it's like it's a white tank, right?
It's a polyethylene.
Polyethylene,
Yeah.
yeah.
So we were talking about
light it up, and then you can actually see
getting
it.
a tool
For you. We're 200 that works smart.
I want to tell you, you're not going to, Brent, we're talking about getting a tool, right, for tomorrow? So it's going to be here tomorrow morning. See, I went on Amazon. It says delivery free tomorrow morning. Why do people go shopping anymore? By the time I found out where to buy one locally,
No reason to go to malls anymore.
I swear to God.
I don't either.
The Gap tool, boom, done tomorrow morning.
Deliveries every day from Amazon at our house. Every day.
I mean, I can't. I just love it. I do love
too. And if I need it the next day, I can get it.
They must have regional warehouse. There's no way they can just ship that from all over.
I get tires the next day because I think they come right out of the tire warehouse in town.
From Amazon?
Yeah.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. All right, let's talk. What's on your mind? Remember, we have another hour to go. First of all, the seminars, very quickly here. We got seminars. Now, it's not going to be a boring presentation and a PowerPoint and slides and all of that. It's going to be just information everyone needs on estate planning and all of that. And it's the 24th and 25th?
January 24th and 25th at the Crawford Hotel at Union Station. Go to milehighstateplanning.com, and there's a place you can sign up for the seminar right now. There's limited availability, so sign up soon.
Only 25 people each day, and this is not a sales job, is it?
No, what I'm going to do is take people through some of the most common estate planning mistakes that I see people make in my practice and what they can do to avoid them. Simple things that you can do ahead of time that will save you a lot of money down the road. Get your questions answered as far as avoiding probate, setting up a revocable living trust, beneficiary deeds, funding a trust. Maybe you have an estate plan that another attorney created a few years ago and you need that looked over. I'll answer all of those questions.
So you're going to answer and give you're going to talk about the basics and then open it up for questions.
Exactly. I'll have a presentation where I'll go through the basics of how to avoid probate, difference between a will and a trust, all the incapacity documents that I recommend clients have as well, long-term care planning, asset protection, and then I'll open the floor and I'll answer questions, and I'll be there until the last question's answered.
Oh, excellent. And this is what time during the day?
It's lunchtime.
Okay.
And
noon?
We have valet parking, so nothing to worry about right there in front of Union Station.
Oh, that's very cool. Validated valet parking?
Validated valet parking.
Cool. So
January 24th, January 25th, sign up milehighstateplanning.com.
milehighstateplanning.com. You can't do better than that. The Crawford Hotel and valet parking. Okay. Terry, what's going on, Terry? And we have lines open at 303-713-TALK. What's going on, Terry?
Hi, Tom.
Hey.
I've got an issue with Batteries Plus. I took my phone in approximately 4 weeks ago to get a replacement battery.
What kind of phone?
It was a Samsung S6.
Okay.
That's an older model. So I took it in. The battery went dead, so I took it in to just get a replacement. This is the second go-around with Batteries Plus. I've had some previous encounters with them.
Man, I've always loved that store. I love the store. But what happened?
Yeah. So I took it in, and they tell you to come back in an hour. Your phone will be ready. So I came back in an hour. They had issues with the battery was cracking the front glass part of the phone, and they didn't know why, and they replaced the battery.
How does it crack? Wait.
So,
the battery is cracking glass?
Yes.
Okay.
That's what I got from them. And then they said, we're going to have to send it to our special tech who specializes in what's going on. And so they
did your screen get cracked?
They said that replacing the battery caused the screen to crack, and they didn't know why that was happening.
Were they going to give you a new screen?
So they did. I guess apparently they said they'd replaced it a couple times, but the battery kept cracking the screen. So they wanted to do a little bit more investigation as to why it was doing that. And then it fried the motherboard.
Wow.
Yes, and so.
Well, it sounds like they're going to have to replace your phone or give you the value of a used old phone. They don't have to give you a new one.
No, exactly. So they offered to give me a $200 check to replace for my inconvenience and to replace the old phone.
So
the value of the old phone.
Sounds like we're done, right?
Right. So you would think so, and from the get-go, I still, even though I owned my phone outright, I'm now in a new contract. I got a new phone, so I'm obligated to Sprint now for another 2 more years for this new phone.
Wait a minute. Hold on. I'm confused. You're trying to construe this into some kind of a loss because they bought that phone from you?
So they were going to compensate me for the old phone.
I
So
get
that's
you.
fine.
I get
Okay.
you. So now if you take the money for that old phone, I can find them all day long on Amazon, and you could buy that phone and have it activated on your existing plan. All I need to know, Terry, is just yes or no. You're claiming additional losses, right? Not just the cost of the phone. That's what I think I hear you saying. Hold on, and we'll examine that topic and more coming up.
I heard her say she got a new phone.
She did.
On her own.
On her own.
But she was
Because
paying
she
the
signed
value
up
of
for
the
a
old
new
one. Now
advertising.
she's going to have this cockamamie connect the dots.
I know.
Now she's fucking suffering a loss because she had to obligate herself to a new
Don't
plan.
tell us. Is that what you're at? Oh, my God.
I know what it is.
Don't
I can't hold it. I can't hold it. God, now, there's 2 things she's upset about. One thing she should be upset about.
Don't tell us.
Okay.
You know about it. It's all right. Because if you tell us, she's not going to tell this 8-minute story.
You know, it'll be 15.
You know the little.
Where's the download fucking button on these fucking computers? And why can't I ever find it?
What do you mean the
download
folder
folder?
I made out of? Like the drills, the a DeWalt drill under.
I can search.
They're $99. You get them on Amazon for $89.
But they never have what I downloaded.
It's under.
I have it. Okay, good.
There's your find it.
I guess I was wrong. I did find it. Okay.
Oh, really?
Then how do I move that?
$15 for materials.
Right click
Can you
copy.
take it out and put the new batteries in?
Copy.
Just like a double
And then
A,
I go to where I want and paste, and that's it, Mark? Honest to goodness.
They're between the size of double A. What do you got now?
What do you guys make of this? You're the expert on
you.
these royals. What the fuck's going on with Megan there?
You know what? If you read what they said, they didn't say shit. They're still going to support the monarchy and do everything. They still want to live there. And they want to make their own living.
No, that's what they're saying though. They're not going to take any money from the taxpayers. I think that's pretty smart. Don't you?
I think it's fucking wonderful.
So what you got to do is
I mean, what is the big deal with what they're saying? And they're making such a big deal about it.
the strip that you weld between.
Well, I guess most people don't leave the royals.
Make the weld to a lower temperature, and you have the little spot weld that makes
Isn't it stupid the way they made such a big deal?
$100.
I think it's stupid how they make a big deal out of all of them.
One. I've got 18 of those batteries.
You bought a welder?
Yeah, I bought a welder.
You can do the welding?
Yeah, you put one, and it takes a second. So if you got battery packs you want to do, let me know, because we can just.
Did you see we shot down that
well,
that Ukraine
we
passenger plane was shot down by Iran?
Right.
The one that crashed turned out to be shot down.
They turned on their anti-ballistic missiles, and apparently see the plane.
Because that plane crash was at the same time, I wondered if it was related.
So they thought the U.S. was going to lob some missiles at them.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's a Russian system.
That guy that they had. Well, I think I told you earlier, that guy that.
They bought the cheap one. I can't tell the difference between a fucking ginormous plane and a little scud.
I'm sure a lot of it was operated on it too.
Yeah, they don't want to. They just saw radar signal coming in.
Oh, New American.
I thought that was.
Well, now if it was an engine issue, as long as it wasn't just like one in a tip, they can. They're not going to just like.
Usually, Boeing also has, the engines are out on stanchions.
Okay.
If
if the engine goes way out of balance, the balloon should decide for the engine to fall off.
Really? Can a pilot
You know what
do
I'm
that?
saying? I don't
Or
know
No, it's
quite.
just the
The
vibration.
vibration will just crack it.
Yeah, just break off. They're designed to break away.
That's, I get a little nervous with your stuff.
Tell me
what's hard about this now. Tell me what you're doing.
They're built that way. But initially, I had an
And
engine
now
car.
that I think about it, I have a couple more credit card receipts to put in, but so it might change just a little bit.
Oh, I bet they fired a couple.
Probably right.
Yeah, what?
Is that what we should do right
Because the
now?
pilot initially reported an engine
For
on fire.
Tierra Personal.
So that's a missile.
No, first of all, understand, this is in
And then I
time.
have to there's zero Iraqis and zero Americans.
Okay.
I mean, what point did
Yeah, they're
very little.
They're already.
And they shot their own fucking people down. That's the part that's really a bitch out of the whole thing. The only people they killed were their own people.
Sure, Tom.
Isn't that, and think about that.
That's right.
I know
That is.
you
bring it up like that.
They're morons.
That is.
We're going to attack the U.S. They miss
I don't-
every
I
single
you
thing
won't
they
want
shoot.
to hear- You won't hurt my feelings either
You mean
way.
my personal,
No,
You mentioned that.
Yeah,
it was
I know.
wrong.
The guy was talking to you.
Oh, cameras on. Yeah, that's unreal. But if you're too busy, I also.
Cable out of here again.
Well, when Daphne's gone like
No?
this, and
Yeah.
she's gone 2 weeks
Just
in
that one.
December,
That's the
I'm
only
doing
one.
double duty
Yeah.
here with my work.
Let's see how much I want to see how much I actually have, because what I might do is just have you quarterly bless them.
Balance and stuff.
See
I
if I
wouldn't
come
mind
up
that
with
at
a
all.
Guy I know that does
Okay.
that secret stuff. He says America has the capability of re-steering those things. Instead of
And everybody needs this.
we just gamble when they're coming at us and they just go where.
The older shit.
I-
Like that Russian system.
Yeah,
Our
whatever.
Patriot system, I don't think anybody can fuck with.
It's hard to say what it is, but he said we have the capability of jamming stuff coming in.
It really is amazing, thinking those morons shot 15 missiles over, and all they did was kill 180 of their own fucking people.
Are they stupid?
Yeah, oh yeah.
I didn't understand that at all.
They shot down their own airline.
The only thing they killed was their own people on their own commercial flight, leaving Tehran.
Is the Troubleshooter Show.
God, I mean, how come Trump's not tweeting about, hey, you morons?
I know.
I think he doesn't want anything else to happen.
I am Tom Martino, and I love the fact that so many people for so many years have been calling us for help at the Troubleshooter Network, and we've helped hundreds of thousands over the years with cash, merchandise, exchanges, refunds, and service totaling into the millions. Let's get right to the phones. All you have to do is please pass the word around. If you need help, call 303-MARTINO at any time, 303-MARTINO. If you leave your number, we'll even call you back. Where in the media do you have people turning the microphone over to you for your help? We don't always agree with you, but we certainly want to help you. Blake Harris is with us, Mile High Estate Planning. Free legal advice. How about that? I'm gonna give you an example of that. We're going to dumb down some estate planning, okay? I want to dumb it down. First, what is an estate? Let's dumb it down. What exactly is an estate? Blake, make it simple, please, or I'm going to give you the buzzer.
An estate is a total combination of all the assets you own at the time of your passing. Was that simple enough?
Everything
And
you
debts,
own.
right?
It's the net worth, though.
It's
The estate,
all the assets and all the liabilities you have at the time of your passing.
Excuse me, you're right. That's the estate. The liabilities and assets. Your net worth is of the estate is the liabilities.
The assets minus the liability.
Right. Okay, I'm going to give myself
But the
this.
estate includes all of that, the good and the bad.
I'll give myself the buzzer. That's because I made it too complicated. Okay. Now, let's talk about an estate then. What is an estate plan?
So when we pass away, if we don't have an estate plan, then the government has an estate plan for us, which does not mirror what a lot of people want to have
So
to happen with
an
their money.
estate, now, an estate plan is what happens. I'm going to give you the buzzer because you're right. No, it was simple. The government will do it if you won't. But technically what I asked was...
What is an estate plan?
What is it? And it is a plan to what to do with your stuff after you're dead.
In the event of your incapacity or your passing.
I'm going to give myself this, the dinger, because that was... Okay, Mark?
Put that thing away.
Now, no, seriously. Okay, the most basic estate plan, a will. What is a will?
A basic will, it allows you to do two things. Number one is select who's going to receive your property when you pass away. If you want to disinherit a child, you can do that with a will. The other thing a will lets you do, and this goes to your question earlier of, am I too young to have a will? If you have a child under the age of 18 with a will, you can nominate a guardian, so you can select who would be the legal parent if you
Wait a
passed
minute.
away.
You can choose who will take care of your children?
You can nominate a guardian. The court will, of course, review it and make sure that you're not.
Yeah, if this guy's an idiot, they won't let him do it.
You can leave your money to an idiot, but the court's going to review who you're leaving your children to.
But you can really recommend who you want for your children.
The term is nominate a guardian. So yes, you can
Nominate a guardian.
choose.
But obviously, if you have a joint custody with a parent, you can't just go beyond her wishes.
Correct. It would
like
go to the
you
surviving
can't say
spouse.
you can't say if I have 50-50 custody, my 50% will now go to my sister.
No, you cannot. However, you can write a note to the judge and say something to the effect of, it's important that my child still has a relationship with my family, and the judge will consider that.
So really, this is very telling. I did not know that you can, in your will, aside from distributing what you own, you can also make recommendations for your children.
Now, yes, this is true. You can do this all in a will. In Colorado, you can also do this in a trust as well. The reason that some people will use a trust instead of a will is a ticket to the probate court. Now, this is one of the things I'll go over at the seminar on the 24th and 25th, where...
Means if you have a will, you must have a probate?
Yes, a will does not avoid probate. If you have no will, you're going to probate. If you have a will, you're going to probate.
Okay.
A will is a ticket to the probate court.
Can you have a will and avoid probate by doing other things with the will?
Yes. Well, when I create a trust for clients to avoid probate after they pass away, we still have a will as a backup. We call it a safety will or a pour-over will or a spillover will.
What does the will say? See the trust?
It says, give any assets in my estate to my trust, and then the terms of the trust say what happens from there.
All right.
So it's a safety net. Ideally, you want to fund your trust. So if you're going to go through the process of creating a trust, make sure that you've updated beneficiary designations to name the trust as a beneficiary. Make sure that you've retitled your real estate or put a beneficiary deed in place to transfer your deed.
I never understood why you can't have a trust and then have a will that simply says everything goes to the trust.
He just said that.
You can do that, but then that property goes through probate. So
okay.
If some assets gets missed, we could have a smaller probate because some assets were in.
But if you have a ton of assets and just, multiple businesses, multiple properties,
that's going to cost.
You know how long it takes to put everything in a trust?
Yes, and you know how much more expensive that's going to be if you don't.
No, I don't. But that's what you're saying.
That's what
It'll cost your estate more money at the end.
I agree. Funding is a bit of a headache, and that's the reason that I sometimes
Funding
recommend.
is a big headache.
And that's the reason sometimes I tell clients just set up a simple will, because funding is a headache. Now, if the headache that you are going to go through is a lot smaller than the headache your children will go through, then I say bite the bullet and put together a proper estate plan and save your children the headache down the road.
Blake, what's a pour-over will?
A pour-over will or a spillover will, it's one that is created at the same time a trust is created, and all it says is any assets in my estate when I pass away are distributed to my revocable trust.
Yeah, so basically it's just saying, if I miss something, put it in the trust.
So if you have a will, you don't necessarily need a trust. If you have a trust, I highly recommend having a will as well as a backup.
Terry?
Yes, Tom.
So, here's the deal.
So,
by the way, I understand.
Back to me. Whichever direction we decided to go.
Yeah. So let's say, for argument's sake, they're going to pay you for the value of the phone.
Okay. So I am still obligated to send that old phone back to Sprint. So either way.
Wait a minute. I didn't know that. Hold on. Why are you obligated to send the old phone back to Sprint? Did Sprint own it?
Yes.
I didn't know that. You were leasing.
You should be able to just pay the lease off.
How much? Were you leasing that phone?
I was, but the lease was already paid off.
Well, then you own the phone.
It's your phone.
Exactly.
Well, then you don't.
My goodness.
Terry, please help me out here, okay? You don't, if the lease is paid off and you own the phone, you don't have to send it back.
Well, Sprint is asking that I send it back.
Did they say why? That's interesting, Terry. I really am interested.
Is it for the trade-in on the new one you got?
I believe that is the...
Okay,
yes,
but hold on.
That is the reason.
But now I want to ask a very simple question, like most other plans. If you chose not to do that, if you simply wanted to keep an S6 and you found a used S6 on Amazon or eBay and you bought one refurbished and you bought it for $180 and you bought it, you can take it to a store and have it activated on your plan, right? The answer is yes. Okay. There. Now go on with your story.
So, Batteries Plus knew from the very beginning that I needed the phone back, not only to return it back to Sprint, but I've always wanted it, and it wasn't. And so every day for the last 4
They don't
weeks,
have to
they
give
have
it back if
given
they
me-
gave you the money. They don't have to give it back.
But they haven't given me the money yet. That's just it. So they offered just a couple days ago. Well, we're going to compensate you
Is it
for
possible?
the old phone.
Is it
with the
possible they
check.
haven't given you the money because you haven't agreed to it?
I haven't agreed to it. No. So I went to the
That's
store.
why, Terry.
To get my,
That's why
my
they didn't pay
phone.
it.
Well, they cut a check and they told me to come get the check.
Good.
But by the way, the phone still isn't being repaired. It's
Terry,
still being repaired.
Terry, what
Yes.
part of this? If they pay you the $200, they don't have to give you the phone back. You have been completely compensated for the phone. Now, if you want to put yourself, all they are obligated to do is put you in the exact position you were in before you walked in the door. The way you do that is you take the money they pay you and you buy a used S6 and have it activated. You will be in the exact same position you were in the day you walked in. They owe you nothing more. I don't know why you're complicating this.
Well, the thing is that I want my phone back.
Why? You got to tell me why. Why?
She's got some compromising pictures on it.
No. Terry, could you please tell me why this phone is so important to you?
Well, let me tell you, Tom. When I activated the new phone that I got from Sprint, because I needed the phone, I've been without a phone for 3 weeks now. So I have now got a phone.
Yes.
I lost all my data.
I get
lost
it.
All my
no, now that I get.
My pictures and everything.
Terry, I get that. I really do. I get it. Now, so you want your old, hold on, you want your old phone so you can transfer the data, but you can't hold on, you can't transfer the data if the phone is irreparable, okay? You can't.
Right. So, but that's not what they've told me. They did not tell me that it was not replaceable. They've been working on it every day.
But Terry, so you expected them, and again, I'm asking because I'm not sure. You expected them to pay you the value of that phone plus fix the phone and return it to you. Is that right?
Yes.
That's unreasonable.
Why?
How about the data?
Because you get one or the other. They either fix it and give it back to you, or they pay you the money for it. They don't have to do both. That's like saying you wrecked my car. You better pay me the value of that car. Okay, Mr. Martino, here's your 10 grand for the car. Oh, I want the car back too. Oh, here it is. No, I want it repaired. Terry, you have to see that that's unreasonable, right?
Well, it's not about the money, Tom. I never even asked for it. I just wanted my repaired phone back.
Now I get it. You don't care about the 200. I get it. You don't care about the 200. You just care about your phone. Yeah. But here's the deal, okay? I get that too. But if it's impossible to fix the phone because for some reason or another, they just fried the hell out of it.
The motherboard's broke.
Then the only thing they can do, they don't have a choice but to pay you the value. There's got to be a finite value for what they took from you. Okay? In all losses, in all courtrooms, there's a finite value. What do they owe you? And that's what we got to come up with. They owe you the value of the phone, but now you bring up a very, very good point, and it is worth something, and that is the data. I mean, data is worth something. If that data is irretrievable, that does have a value.
I bet she signed something upon leaving it for repair, acknowledging that if the data's lost, they're not responsible.
Hey, Terry, what data on there? What data is on there that's irretrievable or that you can't duplicate? Give me an idea of the data.
I've got a lot of data that I've saved in my memory for, let's say, contracts.
What do you mean contracts?
And,
Well, how about just pictures, like wedding photos? I mean, anything. I'm just using examples here.
What do you, Terry, what do you have on your phone?
I have a lot of them. We all put a lot of important information on our phones.
Yeah,
Tom,
I know
whether
we
it
do.
be
I'm
pictures and so
asking you
forth.
if I'm just trying to help you, dear. I'm trying to ask you, is there stuff that can never be found anywhere else again?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, what
And so,
if? Now I'm going to
it's
ask
never
another
been about
question.
the money.
I want you to think about this question, Terry. You've made yourself completely clear to me now. You're saying, Tom, of course they're going to offer 200. It's an old phone, but there's way more to it. What do? They can keep their 200. I want my phone back in a condition where I can retrieve my information. I get it. Now I'm going to ask you to think about this during the break. What if the information cannot be retrieved because they screwed it up so bad? I need to know what now.
Weekdays 2 to 4. The
Or
Situation.
if they lost it, because remember, they shipped it.
You know what? I may want you to call in. She's right. They do owe her something.
Yeah. Didn't you say the mother broke or got broke?
Do I have anything? Because I can really
The
go
mother
out.
was broke. You can't recoup it.
All right, shh. All right, let's talk about Master Ruger Plumbing. These are the guys that can install a toilet, or they can replace your entire sewer line if you ever need one, and they can save you a lot of money. They give discounts to military senior citizens. They even give discounts, and this one's my favorite, to single income families. Full service plumbing at very reasonable prices. They also have 24/7 emergency service. Write the number down for when you need a good plumber. 720-434-3406. 720-434-3406, or check them out at referralist.com.
Hey, Blake,
What is the memory in a phone? Is it a little plug-in thing?
No, it's a little, usually it's a little card.
My wife has a card you can fill out.
When some, on most Samsungs, yes, on Apple's, no.
Samsung, she has a Samsung.
Yeah.
So she might be able to pull that in my son.
Maybe so. Well, there's two different ways. So the phone itself has, say, 64 megabytes, like Apple was selling 64 megabytes. And then the Samsung, you can also put a card in that you could add up to 256. So depending if she stored it to the 64 or to the 256.
You know, she does have a gas.
But you know when you drop something off for repair, you sign away that you realize there's a risk of losing your data. So,
So her complaint to me when I talked to her this morning was she didn't want to sign the paper that she needed.
She didn't want what?
Sign the paper in order to, she needed to sign a paper to release his own liability.
I don't blame her.
Badly confused. And I don't blame her.
I don't blame her. It's like, hey, you know, you fucking took my data. How much? I mean, what? But that's why I asked her. Now she has to come to grips with what now. She has to come up with what now.
Back, she has to realize.
she has to have a dollar amount. You know how frustrating it would be? But then you can have a good argument. I was in the computer business forever, and we lost fucking people's data. And they signed acknowledging that their data could be lost the second they dropped those computers off. But we also told them in that initial, is your data backed up? Did you make a backup? Do you want to pay a little extra money and we'll back up your data while we're working on it? Then we'll take responsibility for it.
Yeah.
Why isn't she backing up to the cloud?
So she told me she had some to the cloud so that she could get off. So she must have done, like you said, put some right directly to the phone.
Like on mine, I save a lot of shit to the cloud, but my pictures, just because I take so many, I don't give a shit about the picture of that stove I took today. I don't want that woman's stove up in my cloud. My kids might go, hey, I don't remember that stove.
I love that stove.
Hey, where'd that stove go? You know what I told Jay when he was out at my house doing the walkthrough? They're getting ready to do my roof. I told him and his project manager I wanted to save the gutters. Make sure you save them.
Oh, that's funny.
You shouldn't have said anything. And then
That's right, afterwards I should have. Actually, I told him it, we all laughed. Now when they actually throw them away, I'm going to say, hey, you better acknowledge I told you to save them. Because I knew a guy that lived next to the guy who built the house and put those gutters up.
What about, you got rid of my shingles?
What? My kids walked on those shingles while they were sneaking
You
out.
know what? When he said he was attached to his old gutters and wanted value from them, that was the height of all fucking issues.
You couldn't fucking believe it, could you?
We had a caller that did that?
Yeah, they were mad at Excel because they got new gutters. You know, the insurance paid for new gutters, and they had the audacity to throw away the old gutters.
He was attached to them.
Because his dad hung those gutters 70 years ago on that there house.
He wanted money for them.
But you know what's worse than that?
God.
Jay gave him a
Good
free
radio,
roof.
though, huh?
I don't remember what Jay did,
I
but
think that, did he give him a free roof?
I doubt he gave him a free roof. He might have gave him the gutters for free or something, but the one that always bugged me was Plumb Line giving that lady the free furnace.
Oh, what the hell?
Talk about, I wouldn't
She
have,
was an asshole.
I would have sued her just for being her.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK. Hey, people, we've had this discussion before. We have. A camera's destroyed, okay? They'll give you the value of the camera, but what about the photos on there? Does it have value? There is some value. Everything has a value. They destroyed her phone. But Mark brings up a point. What if she signed a disclaimer? What if she signed something saying, I understand I can lose my data? You know, when you take your computer in for repair, they tell you that. Make data backup. And you have to sign something saying that you backed up your data or you understand you can lose your data. So Terry had her cell phone destroyed by Batteries Plus. It was an old phone. It's not worth much, a couple $100. She says, sure, Tom, they're going to give me $200 if I settle with them, but I don't want to settle with them because I have data that I can't, I don't know what to do. So there's got to be something, okay? There's got to be something. So I want to ask Terry. Now, we all know how happy you would be if they can get your data. Everything's better. They can get your data. Now, let's say they can get your data and your phone is still irreparable. Your phone is still a piece of crap. Okay, you get your data plus $100 or so. But what if you can't get your data ever again? Terry, you have to come to grips with that question. What if? Okay, because I'm sure that with those older phones, with the way the motherboard is, I shouldn't say I'm sure. Where is the data, by the way?
Well,
I don't know. Is it on a SIM card or is it, is it on a memory card?
On
Where
that
is your
S6,
data?
it could be either or.
Where is your data, Terry? Did they tell you?
Yes. Sprint told me that there is no data, no contacts, no photos on the SIMS card. The SIMS card basically
That's right.
gives
That's right.
me
I spoke
access
wrong. You're right.
to the
So I understand. I don't need to know what. It doesn't matter. I need to know where is the data then? Where is it?
It's on the phone.
It's on the phone.
But where? Do you know?
Yes, internally, on the RAM in the phone.
On the phone. Okay.
Just like your iPhone, for that matter.
So it's from. So the point is that I have asked them just to repair the phone and give it to me. I don't care about the $200.
They can't.
That doesn't mean anything
it's
to me.
totaled.
But you don't understand. Even if they do, Terry, even if they do.
To me, they have lied to me every day for 4 weeks.
Okay.
They're repairing it. If you have.
Jesus, she is not listening. You are not listening.
You're
not listening. Do you hear me? What if they can't fix it? I'm asking. Mark, ask. She's not listening to me. Ask.
Back.
What if they can't? What will you take?
Wait. Let's put it a
what
different
What
way.
will you take?
What
will you take if they can't fix it? What will you take? What will you take if they can't fix it? I need to know if you want help. If they can't fix it.
What happens if they lost it?
If they lost it, exactly.
What will you take?
You lost it.
What will you take? What will you take? I want to know. What will you take? I want to get serious right now. Honest to God, Terry, you didn't call to have a lot of fun be made. You want help. Your data could be gone. If it is, what can we do to help you? What will you take? We have to go to them with something. What if they can't get the data and fix the phone? What will you take? What will satisfy you?
Well, to begin with, I didn't sign anything saying
God
that
in heaven.
in the process of
Terry.
fixing my phone.
Terry.
They want me to sign that now in order
Terry.
to get the $200
I'm not
they're
asking,
gonna
Terry.
give to me.
Terry, please answer my question. If they cannot restore your data, is there anything at all they can do for you? What will you do? How important is this data? Is it worth $1 million? What is this data? Can it be found somewhere else? Can you hire someone to go retrieve it? I need to know. I asked a very simple question. What if the data is missing? What will you want? What will you want? Really?
If it's missing?
Yeah.
Okay.
What if they can't get it back for you? And seriously, Terry, really, what will satisfy you, or what do you expect?
I want my phone back. That's it. Just plain and simple.
So,
what if they can't, Terry?
What happens if they lost it? I go back to that.
Forget
it's
about
gone.
lost.
It's lost. It can't be done.
Yeah, we need to have Terry. If I go to them and say she wants her phone fixed, sometimes it's impossible to fix it. Or if they take it and put a new motherboard in it, it would be fixed, but your data's gone. So what if it's impossible to fix it where you get your data? What will you want, Terry? What?
Okay. I'm going to tell you two things, Tom. One, I would take what they're offering me, the 200, and
then what? Plus what?
I want the listeners to know that you've got to be careful.
Oh, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Dealing with batteries and plus,
or with anyone, Terry, with anyone who's working on stuff. Anyone, when you have data, you better be important. You better. I mean, you better back up.
Claiming to make repair to your phone.
Okay.
And but
Dave.
They have destroyed 2 phones of mine.
All right. Hold on. I can't go on. I really can't. It's not fair to my listeners. I can't. I just can't go on.
I think 3 committed suicide.
No, really. Listen. What if you had data on a phone they can't get back? What would you want, Mark? Honest to goodness, what would you want? Now, first of all,
I would have backed up the data.
I would have backed up the data. So I think it's unreal to expect that they recreate the data.
And I would assume someone has been to court. And forget about if a store does it. How about if you drop my phone and destroy it in water or crush it with your car?
Usually you sign with those people anyway that they're not responsible.
No. I want to say, for argument's sake, because she swears to God she signed nothing. For argument's sake, she signed nothing. She still won't tell me.
There would have to be a value on her pictures, whatever that is.
She didn't.
Penny?
Mark, she never said there were photos, not one time.
Or contracts, whatever.
First of all, have you ever heard of a contract being on a phone? Ever?
Not in the norm.
They're never on the phone. If they're on a cloud somewhere, but they're never. What can you even save to an S6? What can you? Look it up. So, but again,
any picture.
I want to know from one listener, please call me right now. Call me right this minute, 303-713-TALK. Do you think this call is ridiculous and I spent too much time? Or do you understand I'm trying to figure out what we can do to help her at Batteries Plus?
And third, seriously, too, even if you don't agree with 1 or 2, was it entertaining? I'd like to know that.
Well, it might be painfully not entertaining. It might be to a point where they thought I was really going crazy. Here's the point. I'm never really going crazy because I'm crazy all the time. So put it that way. But, Terry, we will call Batteries Plus. Terry, you mentioned contracts. Did you guys type contracts on that phone?
No.
You typed them? How did you get a contract?
My contracts? Yeah, it's important information that's to me.
Like what? Give me an example.
Well, I am raising 3 grandchildren, so I have power of attorney. I have
does this power of attorney
from the courts that I am responsible for.
Well, Terry, that's not on your phone. A power of attorney is recorded with the courts. It's not on your phone.
It is, but I'm just trying to give you an example that I have important information on my phone that I need to show
Where on your phone? Was it in a note? Was it a notebook? What app did you use? A note?
Notes.
Okay.
You put them in, save them in notes and in documents and PDF, stuff like that.
All right, thank you. We have more coming up.
This is Denver.
Imagine if someone ever hits her in her car and her car's stolen.
I think
I want my car back.
I think they ought to just give her phone back the way it is.
If they have.
I don't think they. I think they lost the phone.
I think they sent it around.
You know, after a while, I thought I was going fucking crazy. She went
So what she told me,
She
the
was
battery
talking right over you, Tom.
does.
Oh, when you were screaming, she was still.
I think she turned her
didn't
hearing-
blink.
Yeah, she turned her hearing aid
But
off.
Batteries Plus will replace the glass. They do the plug-in for that. You knew that? On Apples or just Samsung?
I think on all kinds of phones.
Oh, really? Because they were going to do the battery for $30.
On yours?
No, on hers.
That's a good price.
It's 46 right
Well,
now.
it's an old phone. It's an S6.
Considering they have to take the risk of opening the phone. You risk breaking.
This report is sponsored by your local.
Cracking it open.
But if you took it in an Apple store,
Did you say out of brand again?
How would you justify, though, anything on a phone, the value?
America's best-selling brand.
Here, I'll give you an idea. Let's say I had a scratch ticket, and the scratch ticket was a $5,000 winner, and I took a damn text.
The Art of Granite is a place to go if you want beautiful countertops and you want beautiful cabinets. You want it at custom look, at custom designs, and you want them at beautiful prices. TheArtofGranite.com. Please look it up. Now, Mitch Fleer's in Golden. He'll invite you to the showroom. Once you get a price you like, and he'll give you a price on the phone because he charges wholesale on the stone, solid stone. He's a direct stone importer. He does the Front Range, the entire state, basically, and all of the mountain communities. Call for a price on the phone, 303-386-5919. That's because he charges only for fabrication and installation, and he passes all the other costs on to you as wholesale. TheArtofGranite.com.
Okay, here's your two different feedbacks I'm getting over that call.
All right,
One, why does Tom think he can help everybody? Some listeners are sick of hearing people that can't be helped.
Oh, okay.
And then other is, oh my God, I love when Tom goes old school like that, you know, with your going crazy mad and music.
Okay. You know what? Here's the deal, though. You're right. I think when we can't help somebody, sometimes I go back and forth. Is it entertaining? We know we can't help them. Is it entertaining just to keep it on? Or is it just, should I just say, sorry, boom? Do they like that better?
The answer
There's
is
a balance.
depends.
Sometimes, like this call I thought was fun. It's like
No, but there's a good topic behind this one, too. It makes everybody think, oh, shit, what happens? What's on my
You're
phone?
right. You're right. Overall, Mark, you're right. There is a good
I'm always
She said something very telling, though. She said this is the second phone they've run.
No, I don't.
No,
My
it's
God,
not.
don't ask.
get into that.
Don't ask.
It's not.
It's not?
They originally, she brought it in there, and the back and front, apparently they cracked, and they gave her a different back and front.
Here's the deal, man.
So it's not the
They
second
did fuck
phone,
up,
like you said.
but
They
she
broke
needed
the bezel. And to her, the bezel was a new phone, or represented a new phone.
Okay, but my point.
Don't ask her any questions.
Okay, my point.
You know what? Let's send Clint out there to get the real
This is the
skinny.
second phone they destroyed. Why did she go back there?
Because it is under warranty. The battery's under warranty. It just been there for like 2 months.
All right, this is one of those calls I know I'm going to regret answering. I just
They
know
believe
it.
in the power of the body's ability to heal.
Put it on
and that
speaker.
medication and
Oh,
surgery should be the
spam.
last resort.
You just won
Check them out,
$1 million.
downtownhealthcare.com,
Hello.
or give them a call, 303-292-9992.
Like, do you think we're
Hi,
insane?
Mandy for my friends at Bell
I
and
think
Pollock.
that's,
I know these guys.
yes.
Yeah, I thought he was
Good
gonna-
answer.
I thought he was going to at least try to be tactful. Shit.
I tried.
He didn't even try.
Because he really takes his ethics of his being a lawyer
Remember I told
serious.
you about the second hour?
This is actually bullshit that comes with the being an attorney.
Remember
I
I told
got
you
halfway through his sentence.
second hour on Tuesday?
Yep.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK. I got a comment, Rob. Go ahead, give a comment on the show, on the phone call, on the Terry. Go ahead, sir.
Tom, I just have a couple quick things to say. Number one, I think you're handling this wrong. In the good old days, Tom, from 30 years ago, would start asking questions. He'd say, Terry, answer these questions, yes or no. What was wrong with your phone? Was it damaged, or was it dropped, cracked, broken? Pick one.
Yeah.
Why did you take it to a place called Batteries Plus?
It was for the battery. By the way, it was for the battery.
Okay. So they said the battery's bad, whatever.
Yeah.
If they can't fix the battery, then hand me the phone back. We're done.
Yeah, but they tried to
do
fix the
whatever it is
battery. They tried to fix the battery, and in doing so, they broke the phone, and she can't get her data back. So I'm sorry, you probably didn't hear that part, though. But you're right. Maybe I let it hang on too long. Maybe I did, though. Ann, what is your comment? Go ahead, Ann.
Hi, Tom. I'm
Hi.
going to agree with the lady. You know, I put myself in her shoes listening
Yes.
to that phone call.
Okay.
One of our most important items that each and every one of us keep on us is probably a credit card, cash, and our phones. And to have an establishment hold on to something that they've known that's unrepairable, give it back and explain why you're giving it back. Don't give the customer the runaround. It's been a constant runaround from what it sounds like, and she's just asking for her phone back, and for some reason, they won't give her her phone.
I took it as she's asking for her phone in working order back, though, and they can't do that.
No, she knows right at this point.
She said she wanted her phone fixed. But let me ask you this, Ann. If this happened to you and your data was gone, it's just gone, and you had important notes on there. Now, let's face it. I mean, you know, let's just say it happened. What would you want? Now, obviously, the cost of the phone is not enough. What would you want?
You know, if there was a chance of saving the data, I'd take my phone. My personal
She's got a point.
information is most important.
So you would probably take it somewhere.
I'd try to do something.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Stop right there.
Yeah.
I would not stop right there. You know, it's something I've learned from that phone call is to back up your information.
Yes.
And I think everybody's double thinking that right now.
That's what we were saying over the break.
No, you are very right. I think most of us don't take that seriously. We have to back up our data.
I want my phone.
Well, thank you for your comments, though. Okay, seriously. And anybody else that wants to comment on that, please call us right now. 303-713-TALK. Brian, you tell me about your insurance card. What's going on, sir?
I got hit. I had an accident at an intersection. A guy came through traffic from the side and hit me in my right front.
Yes.
Then I pushed him into a car.
Uh-huh.
So there were 3 vehicles involved in the accident.
Right.
The lady that he hit jumped out and took pictures of all 3 of the cars.
Right.
He left the scene of the accident.
Uh-oh.
But he came back because I think his girlfriend said, you better pull your head out and get back there because she's got pictures of your license plate. So he did come back.
That's right.
He came back and came to me, and I kid you not, groveled and begged me not to call the police. I already had. I did it while I was in the intersection in the accident.
Oh.
And they were on their way, Denver police.
So now what?
So he chills, and then he gets really nervous and comes over to me and says, I got to go to work. I'll get fired, and leaves. The officer did show up. I explained what was going on. He goes, well, I'm not going to give him a leaving the scene because he came back and at least exchanged information.
Well, that's good.
Bottom line is we find out that the information he gave me, the insurance card, is for the car, but he's excluded from the policy.
Uh-oh. So he didn't give false information, but it's not going to help you. You can call that officer, though. Did you call that officer to have them amend it?
Yeah, and quite honestly, the officer wouldn't call me back. He had one of his sergeants call back, and the sergeant said, well, you got to call the city attorney, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm getting nowhere
hold
with
on.
it.
But no. If you call the city attorney and say, look, this guy was uninsured, they will do something about it. They should.
Yeah, they haven't so far, but that's what I'm in the process of doing now.
Now,
my question.
Go ahead. What's your question?
Why does the car that hit me, irregardless of the driver, why does the car not cover the accident because the car was in the accident regardless of the driver?
No, okay, first of all, you have a point in a way, and that is called permissive use. Use. Listen, if they let him use the car, you can argue he should be covered. Was he specifically excluded on that?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
All right.
Positively, he was.
Okay, then this is bad. I mean, this is really bad. You can sue the owner of that car directly for negligent entrustment. They let him use that car knowing he wasn't covered. I'm serious. You can go after that person who owns the car. Even though that insurance might deny coverage, you can take it out of her butt or his butt. You let them use something, and they knew they weren't insured, and they can't say they didn't because they had to specifically exclude that person. And the only way they can get out of that is by saying the guy stole the car. And if that's the case, then you get the guy arrested. So I think you have them over a barrel. I really do. Dean, what's your comment on that Batteries Plus and cell phone call?
Oh yeah, this is Gene, the roller skater. Okay, how you doing, Tom?
Good, Dean. What's happening?
Well, just fine. We have a 2015 Nissan, and me and my wife took the extra remote that wasn't working, and the guy on 103rd and Federal.
Yeah.
He worked over an hour on that remote and only charges $40.
The guy at Batteries Plus, so that's a good. He's just calling in as a defense because of the complaint we got about ruining the cell phone. Thank you very much for that, Dean. Bill, what is your comment? Go ahead, Bill.
Tom, that phone call was painful.
Uh-oh.
2 additional comments.
Like painful in what way?
Way too long. She had too many details. Back in the day, you would have cut her off a lot.
Okay.
But being a digital photographer, there's a 3-2-1 backup strategy out there, meaning if you have important information, it needs to be on 3 separate devices. 2 of those you can have at the house. 1 of those is off-site in case you get broken into or in case of fire. Also, all of these little media cards, some of which you slip into your phone, they are able to do digital forensics on those. And if the data is that important, they can dig it out of her phone.
Well, yeah, they can, but man, that could cost a lot of money. I think she just has notes referencing things like powers of attorney and guardianship papers like that. By the way, we have our milehighestatePlanning.com. They're going to have he's going to have seminars January 24th and 25th during the day, lunchtime, free valet parking, and it's Blake Harris. So to find out about it, you go to milehighestatePlanning.com. I want to ask you something. Is a power of attorney recorded with the courts so people can check it?
Pretty much never.
Oh, never? So if you say you have a power of attorney, can't a bank say, oh, I don't believe you?
They can ask you to produce the power of attorney.
Okay.
The only time that a power of attorney really ever ends up in court is if it ever becomes contested. Somebody is saying this power of attorney is not valid.
So a power of attorney is a document that gives you power of attorney for certain things or for everything.
Yes, in the event of your incapacity or passing.
But the only thing that is evidence to that is the power of attorney.
It's the document itself. Yes, it's a very common misconception about wills and power of attorney.
Now, wills as well, they don't have to be recorded.
You are allowed to record them before someone passes away, and only in the case where we're very certain that there's going to be a will contest would we ever do that. It's very rare that wills are actually ever recorded beforehand.
So where do you keep the will, and how do you know the will come forth? What if a guy has a will, he leaves it with his son, and his son is pissed off because it leaves most of the stuff to his sister?
It is a problem that comes up frequently, and safekeeping your will is very important. I recommend that you keep a copy, that your personal representative keeps a copy, and that the attorney who drafted up has a copy as well, so you can cross-reference it.
Now, when the attorney who drafted it has a copy, how does that attorney bring it? Like, do you know when that person dies? Do you get notified?
So it's I don't have a way of tracking down each of my clients. It's once a family member comes to us, then we'll be able to go into the client file and see, or we'll reach out to the Colorado Bar Association and see if another attorney has drafted a more recent will for the individual.
So drawing a will is not just drawing a will. You have to make sure it gets read and gets seen.
Right. Having the will is one part, but if that will gets lost, then you've pretty much done nothing. You want to make sure that you have a will. It's a plan. It's not, I don't sell wills, I sell estate plans, which is what's going to happen, who's going to be responsible for your property after you pass away. So just as important as that will is to leave some type of guidance along with that will.
Now, impact traffic.
Road work has the left lane closed on southbound
Hey, Tom, we've had at least 3 times where they found they had wrong insurance.
I know you have to pay for it.
Cops had went back to the cops, they did nothing. 3, and it wasn't just Denver. It was like a war or 2.
But I don't know if
it's more work for
it. Yeah, the attorney's best.
They will not do it. it is better to have a fake insurance card and give that to the
Yes,
cops.
it is.
God almighty.
Because you're free and clear, basically.
My sister is an insurance agent. She says it happens all the time. There's Geico is the one most copied. The Geico card, all the time. You have some guy that copies them, making a Geico card for
Honest to
$10.
God, and just gives it at the scene and never go back to him.
No.
If this
now,
if this guy offered completely bogus information at the scene, the cops will almost never go back
Denver
to
one.
him.
Well, I think it's just that. I think we also had Aurora one
just
too.
text the word
I know
child
Denver
to
won.
833-938
Short, plumb line.
and sponsor a child right now.
It's terrible.
You know, Plumline Services is a company I am proud to be associated with for plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains. And right now they're offering so many savings on furnaces, over $2,000 in services of savings. I mean, when you count the rebates or discounts, plus the savings you'll get in energy bills, you know, whether it be plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, whatever it is, you can depend on their character and excellence in business to give you not only a great deal, but to stand behind it. PlumlineServices.com.
But this is a good one when Compass is on next to ask them, if you get an accident on something and you change data, how can you make sure that data is accurate? Your insurance card. Let's say we've had at least 3 different ones is where they give them fake information or the insurance is already done.
They just cancel it.
Right, but what I'm saying, the cops do not go back and do anything.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on jurisdiction. But
They generally don't do shit. You're right.
Denver or the bigger ones won't.
Right. So what's your point?
My point is how can you make sure that that insurance is accurate when you do change your insurance? And
I guess you could call them.
That's what I'm saying. It's Compass. Will that insurance company tell you?
Yes.
They will?
They pretty much will. Yeah, but especially if it's a fake card. Well, they'll tell you if it's not.
They can tell you if the policy's active or not, I would assume.
You don't think
they're not going to give you policy limits or I don't know.
Yeah, you're
How
right.
about when you have a check and you want to call the bank to see if it'll
I
clear?
totally understand. What I'm saying, we've had at least 3 of them. The cops don't do anything going back. So you can say that lady at T-Bone you. She didn't have insurance and she gave you a fake insurance thing. And
Why is Julian going to
I'm going to find out for you right now.
We're professional friends.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
You've seen Bendinelli. You saw his kid.
But Mark is
You would never think they're related.
yeah.
His kid looks like he could be the Bachelor on one of these fucking
Yeah.
shows. I am not kidding you,
Well,
man.
Marco's good looking.
Not like his kid.
I'm not saying Marco's ugly. Don't get me wrong, Marco.
No, Julian looks like a model.
I mean, it's unbelievable, man.
Is he an attorney?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he
He's
doesn't litigate, does he? I was told he doesn't litigate.
Probably not yet. I think Marco does almost all the litigation down there.
I don't know who does it.
I'll tell you, here's where Marco's great, and he's a great litigator. He's folksy as hell and can get into those juries' heads, and he can steer that conversation. That's why he's a good attorney.
Who is that?
Marco.
He's just easy to listen to.
He can connect with the jurors.
I
How long
got
has he
the
been
answer for
on
you.
your show?
Call the
He's been
88.
with me for so many years, 20-something years, maybe
Oh,
20.
wow.
The company won't give out personal information.
He's going to start doing some fill-in for us.
Most of my people
Is there an
have been
agent
with me
listed
for
on the
years.
card?
Sometimes.
And
Not
years.
always on the card.
So did you hear what?
The only reason your spot came up is the guy's winding down.
I told him that.
Literally.
Worked out well for me.
He says you can call the agent and they can give information, the company cannot.
The company will say personal information, not tell you on the insurance card.
But the agent.
The agent will.
I was surprised once I made it.
I'm saying, like, Mark-
It shocked me.
On yours, just like that.
I looked. I had to look twice because I actually made it.
I didn't think that call was painful because you got emotional. I think.
Did someone say it was painful?
Yeah.
Did you see that? I started.
Yeah, Brian. But I liked it. The woman was
I
talking
used to
right
do that all
over
the time. I used to get up and oh man,
I know.
I lost a lot of that. I didn't lose it. I don't know.
These things get
good every once in a while.
Hot tub guy.
Therapeutic.
Get him back.
Especially that woman never stopped talking.
Oh, you mean the tub guy?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that
Deadly.
tub guy. I almost kicked his ass. I mean,
That
I
was
was
my
getting-
mother.
I-
I'd come
that
over
wasn't
here.
an act, by the way. That a lot of my stuff, you know, is shtick.
You were livid.
Oh no. I wanted to kick his ass.
At least so funny. He sold a woman a walk-in tub. She was so fat she couldn't walk into the tub.
She couldn't fit in it.
I mean, no shit.
Could not
Not
fit
a
in it.
joke.
Literally.
Ask who their agent is. Who's your agent?
16 grand.
That might be-
Hi, Tom Martino here. I want to take quick comments here. It's very important to me. Tyler, what is your comment on that Batteries Plus call? A woman took her phone into Batteries Plus, and they basically ruined it, okay? And because they tried to replace the battery, she lost some data. She was very upset, and she said $200 wouldn't cover it. She wants her data. But I kept asking, what if they can't? She goes, oh, I never signed a disclaimer. I said, but what if they can't? She goes, I want my phone and data. And I couldn't get out of her what would satisfy her. Tyler, go ahead with your comment.
So you asked people to call in about if you took too long on that call,
right?
And that's my comment on it.
Okay, too long. Gotcha.
So, and no, it's not too long. My comment is you've been doing radio for over 35 years. You're like top dog. Do you think you helped her out?
No. But here's what I do think. Hold on. Not directly, but I think I helped a ton of other people by driving home the point that maybe your data is gone and you didn't back it up. And so I think it was a help. Did I help her? Not really. No.
But you helped other people.
I think so.
What is your show about? What is your show about? Helping people, correct?
Exactly.
Then you just answered your own question.
Well, thank you, brother. He ought to come in as a comment man one time. I like him. Ray, go ahead, Ray. What is your comment?
My comment is basically the same. Yeah, she just should have backed up her phone. Anybody who's going to take your phone and give it to someone else should back it up.
Yeah.
And she's feeling stupid because she didn't do that.
Yeah.
She's trying to pass off the blame.
Well, thank you. I love my listeners. Charlie Dunham is with Colorado Computers. He's one of our experts at referralist.com. Charlie, I hope you're going to tell me that if you get the old phone, you can get the data.
Hey, Tom, probably not if the phone can't start up. However, I missed the first part of the conversation. Both iPhones and Android phones typically are set to do a backup to the cloud automatically unless you go in there and turn them off. Did you already cover that?
No, we did not cover that.
She had an old S6, though.
What, would an S6 do that?
Yeah, it should be tied to her iCloud account.
Hold on. You're not her iCloud, but her Samsung cloud.
Yes, she did get some data from the cloud, but she said she didn't get it all. Yeah,
she did.
She told me earlier. Yeah.
Thank you, Charlie. Charlie Dunham, by the way, Colorado Computers. Man, he's great for service. Hey, Terry, did you get some data from your Samsung cloud?
I did, Tom.
Okay.
I did.
Listen. Do you want us to try to get your old phone to see if we have any data collectors that might be able to peer into that phone?
There's a place next to Micro Center that can get it back, but it's going to come down to this.
But let's see. Let's see. Let's find out. Can you leave your information, and I'm going to have Deputy Clint call you.
Okay.
All right, hold on. And I'll even give you his home number. Hey, Suzanne, would you get Terry's number? Clint's going to work off the air on it. Let's talk to MileHighEstatePlanning.com, Blake Harris. Blake, we talked about a will, and a will, spells out your wishes. What is a trust, plain and simple?
So a trust also spells out your wishes for how you want your property distributed when you pass away.
But it's also an entity, right?
It's also an entity which you can do a few things with. Number one, you can use it to avoid probate. So your family does not need to go through the court-supervised probate process after you pass away. Probate in Colorado is not a simple process. It can take 1 to 2 years. It can cost $5,000 to $10,000 or more if there's a dispute among beneficiaries, heirs, and creditors. So
but it's important that it actually is an entity that takes your place, and when you put stuff into it at death, that stuff is still in it.
That stuff remains in the trust, so it does not need to go through the probate court. And then after you pass away, you can set up that trust so that instead of having money distributed right away to children who may be too young to manage that money, or set it up so it's protected for beneficiaries, even if your children are over the age of 30, if they're well settled in their marriage and their job, but still set it up so that if your child's spouse ever files for divorce, that your inheritance, the money that you leave, you want asset protection for yourself.
And you can actually do that, an asset protection trust. And you'll talk about that at your seminar.
You better believe it. It's all over my website, too. You can learn about asset protection and revocable trust, MileHighEstatePlanning.com. Or
MileHighEstatePlanning.com.
Retirement, or have you retired in the last year or two? Moving your 401k from your previous